Hello, YouTube, and welcome to Superpower Broadcasting. I'm Kevin Castley. Thanks for being here tonight. I know we've got a few people already waiting here. I know we've already got quite a few dislikes before the stream even goes live, so that's funny. So we'll be joined shortly by my friend Jay, the War Kettle. So everybody go subscribe to the War Kettle if you haven't done so yet. He's right around 4,000 subscribers, so that's pretty good. He's on the island of Cyprus right now, so he should probably be joining us pretty soon. We'll go over, just news, stuff like that, life, all that kind of stuff. We got Arthur here. How's it going, Arthur? Arthur's like wild the dislikes. Oh man. So I was just browsing through Twitter. I do find this whole hashtag UAE stabs Muslims hashtag to just be a complete dumpster fire. If you look through it, it's people talking about how, it's mostly led from Pakistan and they're all praising Erdogan and everything. And there was this one tweet, and the guy's like, oh, Pakistan, it's the number one leader in ideology, humanity, and dignity. And I'm like, well, humanity? Yeah, wrong again. Dignity? Nope. Ideology? Well, that's debatable. I mean, there is ideology in Pakistan, right? That's kind of a thing. So, I mean, oh man. But yeah, no. Jay should probably be here pretty soon. So I did watch a few clips from the DNC. I've been pretty busy. I haven't really gotten much time to watch too much of it, but I know that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez actually backed Bernie. What a surprise, right? what a goofball. What a goofball. So also for some news on the situation with the debate with Even Stevens, school computer boy. He has so far been completely, afraid. He's been like, oh, well, we could do 1v1v1, bring in another person. It's like, no, we're going to do the debate 1v1. He's obviously scared, so he doesn't want to do it. Nothing new with the situation with Dylan Burns. But yeah, I did send the War Kettle a link. By the way, I'll put his channel in the description of the video so that you can go and subscribe to it. So, but I know over the last few days we lost some subscribers on this channel, and that's cool. We lost the subscribers because I made a video recently where I was strongly condemning communism and apologist for communism. And I was saying, this idea that somehow communism is better than fascism is ridiculous. And yeah, we obviously had some people that were sympathetic to communism that think, oh, Stalin, even if he's a bad guy, at least he was fighting for something good, that kind of stuff. They unsubscribe. So, if they were following me and that was like the straw that broke the camel's back or whatnot, that's kind of weird because I've kind of made it, known for a long time that I'm not one to do apologetics or anything for any aspect of communism, that even the ideal of it is despicable. And, goes back to that debate I had with Cogent K9, of course. But yeah, Arthur's here. He's like, commies be gone. Yeah, Yeah, no, they can get lost. I really don't care. It just means there's a lower likelihood that they're gonna post cringe in the chat. So no problem with that there. So but yeah, I'll put in the link to Jay's channel here into the description. Hmm. Yeah, it's not really letting me edit it as I'm live, which is weird. That hasn't happened before. Oh, we got Dr. Zayas here. Hello, Zayas. Welcome to the chat. Yeah, I'm not sure how long this one will be. We're just waiting on Jay to come in right now. So there is some news over on Twitter, some new drama. I don't know if you guys have been following this or not, but Richard Smith, aka Nikki Haley fan, also I believe he's on his new account at Dutch Haley fan. Yeah, not really a fan of him. He's a total goofball. He flip flops on the whole Trump versus Biden thing all the time, and he doesn't have a hint of irony. And he's completely obsessed to a stalkerish level when it comes to Nikki Haley. And just his Twitter feed is a dumpster fire. And he was basically not you know he and I have had some drama now, and at this point he's a total meme. He unfollowed me the other day. That's cool. I obviously haven't been following him for a while, and he was very triggered by that. And he kept on saying how, oh, well, if you didn't have your stupid rule, you would follow me and all this stuff, because, of course, I don't follow more than 99 people. Here's the thing, I'm not even following 99 people. There's a reason I'm not following him. Like, let's say I had my limit at 1,000 people that I could follow. I'm still not gonna follow him. So, like, he's a goofball. He's funny to like retweet. I'll be like, I'll retweet him saying things like, Nikki Haley is a wonderful person, that kind of stuff. I'll be like, another day, another meme. But some of his stuff is just way, way off the deep end, right? I mean, if you actually check out the stuff that he says, I mean, he's basically Milk Boy at this point. He's a total meme. So. Arthur's calling Jay an SJW. We got Dr. Zayas. He says, does he post Nikki Haley feet pics? No, not to my knowledge. But he does post photos of Nikki Haley's daughter, which is really weird. And he also manages a page on Facebook called Nikki Haley is a Wonderful Person. I'm not making that up. That's not ironic. That's not that wasn't a troll that made that or anything. He made that. That's his page. Oh yeah, Kadavas here says that Putin's top opposition, Alexei Navalny, got poisoned yesterday. Yeah, and it turns out that it was radioactive, so other people in the vicinity were probably contaminated as well. That he is in a coma now. Oh yeah, it's the KGB. That's like their standard operating procedure. That's what they do. So I'll message Jay again and see if he's ready to come in. Oh, interesting. Well, I'll change the title of the stream because it's not just Jay anymore. We have a long time follower of the channel. He's never actually come on here before, but we have Heimsker, Prophet of Talos here. So we're going to bring him on tonight. He's an interesting guy. Done a lot of battles and stuff. Killed a lot of noobs and stuff, I'm sure. So clear out the profile picture here, the avatar, so we can have Heimskar on. So here we go. Welcome to the program.
Trust in Heimsker. I am the prophet of Talos.
Yes,
chosen. If only I had some voice.
So does anybody in the chat? This is a special treat tonight. Does anybody have any questions for Heimsker? Because this is his first appearance on the program tonight. We'll change the name of the stream for sure. So, oh man, I'll just change it to a casual stream because obviously we're gonna have more than just
all hail Talos.
Oh man. So
how does Heimsker's microphone sound, Kevels?
That's right. Yeah, there are a lot of names for me. I think Kevels. I forget. Okay, who calls me Kevels again? Like, there's so many nicknames for me. Kevels is
I've seen it in the chat. I don't really remember who, but
no, but like there's one of my haters who calls me Kevels. Oh, Millsrow. How could I forget Millsrow?
Really? How could you forget?
Like on all the videos and stuff. And so he made another video shortly after we made ours where it was him watching us reviewing him, and it was with lo-fi drone music overlaid, and he's sitting there at his laptop, at his school computer, and and he's of course in his burqa as usual, and but actually Arthur's saying that Mitzi started Kevels, so Millsrow dirty plagiarist, so because I don't think he's ever credited Mitzi, so we got Jay here,
dirty plagiarist.
So we are joined tonight, everybody. We're getting the stream started now. We are joined by Jay of the War Kettle. I tried putting his channel link in the description, but it's not letting me edit it right now as we're streaming. But we've also got, of course, the Prophet of Talos, Heimsker, here. So he's making his debut appearance on the show tonight. So
can I also say, Kevin, the thing is, you're talking about Millsrow and putting my channel link in the description of this live stream, right? But the thing is, Millsrow is a bit more of a bigger fan than mine because he put my OnlyFans link in the bio of his video.
He put your OnlyFans link in there? Oh, man.
Yeah. That video, the one where he's like reacting to us live streaming, watching that video. He then, in the description, he put his own Twitter and something else, and then put my OnlyFans link in there.
And then he tried to show you up by putting his feet up at the camera.
Yeah.
We have a question from the audience right now from Kaka Kadava, who asks, Mr. Talos, why do you sound like Reese so much? So, like, do you guys both live in like the same state? Because that's got to be awkward with bandwidth, right? So,
that's a Jaeger thing. I've got an answer for you. Because the so-called emperor is a coward. That's right. I said coward. Oh yes. I was gonna read this whole thing. I wish I had a soundboard. I would just play this guy's quotes.
Oh, we need a Swaggy soundboard here. I was thinking about that today.
Somebody find me a soundboard.
I would have okay, if I get a soundboard for this channel, we're having like that 3-second clip of Millsrow being like, "I've been a naughty boy," and
oh my god, you totally need to get that on the soundboard.
And we're gonna have one of Kyle. We're gonna have one of the cow. Him saying like, well, he's the neocon ghouls, and
because that's war bad. We're
gonna have one of Tulsi basically saying, no, I'm against regime change wars, but I think we should fight terrorists. That's always funny.
She was crying today for not being invited to speak at the DNC.
Yes,
Yeah.
that was hilarious. That was absolutely hilarious because she was always 1%, so she didn't get invited to the cool kids party. So that was funny.
Yeah, I loved all the people who were like, well, if someone wins delegates, it's tradition that they get to speak. It's basically this like really flawed logic. This is how we have always done things, so that's why we should do it the same way this time. But it's like, okay, look, they're trying to salvage their image right now. And they obviously are not going to want Tulsi on stage because she's a crackpot. So I'm not surprised by that.
Crazy.
And then, but see, the thing is, they can't even say it's like an anti-progressive bias because both Bernie and Yang spoke. So it's really just people don't like Tulsi.
Wait,
It has
but
nothing to do with progressives.
Bernie and Yang are neocon ghouls, though. They were biased against progressive.
Oh, and AOC, that's right. She spoke too. Yeah, a lot of people were bitching. They were very specific about the cases they were bitching about. They were bitching about Tulsi not being there. They were bitching about Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan Omar not being there. Basically, you couldn't have picked worse people to go to bat for. You put these people up there. It was bad enough having AOC up there, but you can't have the others. They poison the well too much. It doesn't help. It doesn't help your chances of being elected at all.
Oh man. I was actually watching a 20-minute video from Guantanamo Bay, one of our friends. And it was so funny to watch him just absolutely salty. And he was talking about how, the DNC, what they're doing is they're trying to reassure Republicans. They're trying to get independents and Democrat votes when they should be focused on trying to basically get the left. Otherwise, the left won't.
Well, based on their standards, there is no left in America because there's such purity testing. There's no reason to go after those people. So no, it's much better. It sends a much stronger message to say, look, we have these other people. We have John Kasich and we have Colin Powell, and basically you're sending this message to people who would typically vote Republican and saying, you don't have to vote Republican this time. I know that that's your tradition, but you can vote for another party and it's not going to be the end of the world. So they're going to get more votes out of that from independents and people who typically vote Republican than the entirety of hardcore leftists in the country, most of which probably don't vote to begin with. Or if they vote like green in a local election. like most of these, who are we trying to target? Are we trying to target like Antifa? How many of those people are even registered to vote?
They don't even vote, mate. They don't even vote. I've known so many of them that just don't even bother voting. And then when they start bitching and whining about the government in charge and everything, and you say, all right, who did you vote for at the last election?
I don't believe in it, man.
Oh, I don't believe in it, man. It's rigged. It doesn't matter. And it's like, hang on a second.
No wonder you don't get your way.
Yeah.
No,
exactly.
it's that kind of reasoning.
A lot of the time, they live in a constituency, which is like what we consider a swing constituency. So basically, that means every fucking vote counts, because if they had gone out to vote, maybe the Conservative Party wouldn't have won and the Labour Party would have won in that area. But yeah, they literally, I think 99% of Antifa members that I've met and had dealings with don't fucking vote at all. And then they wonder why the Conservative Party win at the next election. Because at least with the far right and the right wingers, they get out there and fucking vote. They might fucking hate the political party and hate the Tories or whatever, but they'll still rather go out and vote a Tory into government than fucking let Labour win. Because they know that if they go out and vote, the far left won't.
Yeah, no. In the American context, a lot of these progressives, they position themselves in a way where it would, for the most part, be politically suicidal to cater to them. Like, you'd be lucky to grift off of this without basically being seen as this obstinate roadblock in Congress. And you'd be of no use to any broader policy goals or the party as a whole, and there's no point for it really. The party currently, it has its share of problems, but I think it's coalescing around some of the least toxic elements for sure. And they definitely, you know, you have to give credit, and they've gone out of their way to kick a lot of people to the curb as much as they could, to elevate people who weren't so bad. And, you know, I know that that's not the most sexy thing in the world to vote for. I'm well aware of that. It's not my ideal situation. I wish that I could vote for 90s Joe Biden, but I don't get to. That's not an option I have. So as it stands, it's basically, I have someone who was a big part of the Obama administration, which is very hit or miss when it came to foreign policy. But, you know, we're in a situation where I think that the Trump administration is like 90% miss. So I'll take 50% hit over 10% at this point. That is the logic that I'm running with.
Kevin, can you highlight that comment by the doctor? He says, but Jay, if Trump wins again, everybody will see how badly we need socialism, and then Bernie can win in 2024. Mate, I know exactly what you mean. Like, so I've seen people say this, even in Britain. They're like, oh yeah, like with the Conservative Party, they're like, oh yeah, if the Tories win again, if Tories call an election, this is the one that will show them that we need socialism and we'll get the Labour Party government. And then Boris Johnson comes along, takes over the leadership, calls an election, and then doesn't just win the election, wins by a fucking landslide, a landslide that kind of it wasn't as good as the landslide that the Labour Party got in 1997, but it was pretty damn close good of the landslide. And that was like 23, 24 years ago, that the Labour Party landslide of that good. And then Boris Johnson comes in after two failed Conservative governments, coalition government for the Tories twice, and comes in and just wipes the floor with Jeremy Corbyn in the last election. I'm so glad he's gone. Sorry, I'm kind of making this pretty British at the moment.
Making it bloody British, mate.
Yeah, mate.
It's good.
Oh man,
it's worth bringing up. Hey, you know, we can all celebrate that. I remember when that happened, I was like, I put out a tweet and I was like, good job, lads. You showed the world. You showed the world that Britain still got some spine. Basically,
yeah.
that was a beautiful moment.
There were a lot of people, from moderate people that were on the left, centrist, as well as conservatives and right wingers in the UK. Everybody could get together that night and dunk on, the Iran fanboy Jeremy Corbyn. So,
Jeremy Corbyn is like, he's so much worse than pretty much anyone we have. It's kind of shocking. He's kind of he's like a warning of what could come in a lot of ways.
Now, let me say this, right? If you had an election where the two options were Bernie or Jeremy Corbyn, I would take Bernie Sanders all day long.
Oh, yeah.
All day long. Because at least with Bernie Sanders, A, he isn't an anti-Semite. B, he recognizes Israel's right to exist.
Yeah.
And C, he's not a complete buffoon when it comes to the capitalist system. Yeah, Bernie Sanders will talk about, more programs for the poor, which every now and then I can be like, I agree with that. But at least he's not like Corbyn, who's like, yeah, fuck Israel, fuck the Jews, and fuck capitalism, and wanting full-blown communism,
it's funny because I saw our friend Kremlin Kyle.
Yeah.
He always says this, but it's like his pussy threat to the world. The next Bernie won't be so nice.
He won't be so nice.
He'll be, and well, he might look a little bit like Corbyn.
He'll be a revolutionary.
Basically have like even less of a chance of winning anything. They're so Some of them are so salty. It's just hilarious. They're still mad about how the primary went. Like, move on, grow up. Unbelievable.
Yeah, dude, they're more salty than the Salt Lake in Utah, man. So
I like this comment at the War Kettle. I pick Mayroon's Dagon 2020.
Oh,
you
man.
know, Mayroon's Dagon is less evil than Corbin. I'll say that much.
Oh man,
I'd rather take Milrose over Corbin.
Oh,
so we actually have some news. So while you guys were talking, I screenshotted 2 thumbnails from longtime friend, huge fan of the channel, Alien Millsrow. So we're gonna take a look.
No.
We're gonna take a look at his first video here.
My number one fan.
So
What?
that one,
manifesto.
Why?
Of,
that
sorry,
one.
I need to say
That,
something
no,
important.
dude. This
Go on.
one. No.
I feel very uncomfortable when I see someone in the jihadist garb and the video's titled a manifesto.
Right.
Yeah,
What
a
I'm gonna
mini.
say-
No, it's a mini manifesto, dude. He did the mini meme, dude. That's okay. So
This will not be Millsrow's last manifesto. The last one will be right before he shoots up the school.
You son of a bitch. I was about to say that. I was like, what is it with psychopaths and mass murdering shooters always writing fucking manifestos?
This is my
Let's just run through
manifesto.
a quick list. Let's run through a quick list of psychopathic murderers. Fucking Christchurch shooter. There was that guy in America. What do they all have in common?
Millsrow would
They
go
write
the-
a manifesto.
Millsrow would go the Elliot Rogers route, and he would just make a vlog series right before, I'm sure.
oh man, so we've got Arthur in the chat, and he writes a mini manifesto, and then he has a mini emoji. So I like that.
Stop being clever.
Yeah, no, he's a clever dude. He's a clever dude. Oh man. So this Millsrow guy, he titled the video "How to Decrap" in all caps the DNC, and he says the DNC is broken. I alone can fix it, and it's him sitting in a red chair. No, dude, this is hilarious. It's him sitting in a red chair. It's him sitting in a red chair with a striped, almost like Tigger from Winnie the Pooh looking sock over his microphone, except the sock is hanging down along the cord of the microphone. It's weird. And he's wearing a blue niqab or whatever, and he's got an orange green screen in the background, and he's just talking about like Bill Clinton and stuff. But it gets better. It gets a lot better. So
What does that even mean to decrab?
Decrap.
Is it? Oh, I see.
Yeah, he's saying that they're crap, and so he can fix it and make it based, I guess.
That's strange. Oh, only him. Only he has the power. Well, how about you run for office, Millsrow? Let's see how that goes.
Yeah, he running for office would get fewer votes than like David Duke. Literally, I mean that guy is crazy. But we got a better thumbnail from him because he made another video today, and this one is entitled. This one's got 2 views. This one's got 2 views after almost a day, which it's like that goes to kind of the earlier point from before, which is that almost all the views on his channel are from like fans of this channel and like Reese and Jay. So they go over and like him. So
I wouldn't
speaking.
I almost feel bad giving him attention.
Speaking of the dislikes, so before we went live tonight, this stream actually got 8 dislikes before we even went live. I'm going to check what we're up to now. So we have right now 5 likes and 8 dislikes. So people are salty right now.
Oh, who's lurking? I don't even see you in the chat. Show yourselves, you fucking bitches.
Yeah, dude. Like
make your case. What do you take issue with?
It has to be his socks. But here's the thing. This is his next video, which is how he can't win so we must bully Biden. And this is his thumbnail. If you guys thought the last one was a big yikes, the next one is it's a thick yikes. Take a look at this.
Now that is the manifesto.
These people couldn't bully their way out of a fucking wet paper bag.
He kind of looks like Mr. Bean a little bit.
Yeah, a lot
God.
actually. Like if Mr. Bean was trending with hashtag UAE stabs Muslims, that would be what's going on.
The Islamist Mr. Bean. We finally found him.
Like Mr.
Mhm.
Bean defected to IS to go and cause havoc in Syria.
That would be a great movie. Someone make that.
Oh man.
Well, these are short for him. I'm actually kind of surprised how
Yeah.
these are not like 30-minute like bore your eyes out videos.
These are actually, that's a good point. These are actually watchable, and
These are digestible and not a complete waste of my time.
and yet
Basically.
these have respectively 6 views after one day and 2 views after one day, and the one with 2 views has 2 likes, which I mean it's possible, but I'm guessing there's some soccery going on there.
Some soccery. Well, he does have the sock over his microphone, so maybe
that's true.
That's the theme of his channel.
The other
Well,
one,
the one that has 2 views on it. Are we sure it's just not him like going back onto the video and like updating his description? Because like I'm sure we all do that. You know, we make our video, and, like make an edit after we've uploaded it because we've made a mistake or anything. So those 2 views have just got to be himself, really.
right.
There's like a fine line between a passion and an obsession. If I don't make content really at all right now, but
Really? Yeah,
but
don't
hey,
say.
hear me out. If I didn't get views on the content, if no one cared, would I continue to ever make content? Probably
No.
not. It's kind of scary when you find someone who's that crazy, where they'll just keep pumping out videos into the void that get no views. Like, what is even the point? Are you just that desperate to be seen and heard?
Well, people say that to me. They're like, dude, you have like 350 subs. Like, give it up.
You have an active following, though.
Yeah,
Like,
and
you're
also
a
you
known
have what-
person.
Yeah, and you also have nearly $100 a month coming in on Patreon, don't you?
Well, that's correct. Like, the patron gang is what keeps me here basically every day. Like, I try to be here every day. So, because I got the patrons. Because the thing is, if you think about it, it works out to about $1 Canadian for every 3 subscribers, which is way higher than Hassan Piker, Guantanamo Bay. Like even what's his name? Actual Justice Warrior. Like I like some of his content and everything. He has about 3 times the Patreon that I do, but he has 80,000 subs. So it's like, ratio wise.
Wait,
I'm not doing too bad.
He gets like 300 on Patreon.
Like 270 last I checked.
What?
So,
That's lame. With 80,000 subs? Oh, come on! You got a bunch of cheapskates over there.
You're talking about 80,000 subs, and you can only get nearly $250. And
well,
Kevin's over
I
here
checked this
with
like a couple
barely
months ago.
500. I'd be interested in that.
Yeah, I'll check again. Actual Justice Warrior, because I checked when he debated Vosh, and I thought it was, I watched about half of the debate. I'll see what he's up to because he's at 79,400, almost 12 million views. And okay, I guess it would make sense because he doesn't have his Patreon in his about segment. He must have it in his videos. So I'll take a look at one of his videos here and see if I can find. Oh yeah, he's got all the links in his videos. So his Patreon's. Oh no, that's his PayPal. I'll see if I can find his. Support him at Patreon. He currently is at. Oh, okay. He's up to 557 now. So he's more than doubled it in 2 months since he debated Vosh. So 557. Not bad actually. That's quite a bit of money. But
Yeah, it's not bad.
Not bad. It's just like that. See, that's the thing. The difference is I could be financially viable at this rate at less than 10,000 subscribers because I need about 3,000 a month in order to do this as a full-time job. So that's kind of the goal. It'll take a long time to get there for sure, but we got a dedicated gang here. Like, this is the other thing. It's like, I'd rather have, 350 subs where everybody participates in the chat. We got great memes, but also people got serious questions and stuff. And people are willing to chip into Patreon and everything to keep this going, as opposed to just put out videos into the ether that people, if you ever do get a comment, it's like, that was unimpressive. It's like,
finally
like,
someone noticed me.
Oh man. And that debate, that comment was from before, like that was from somebody a month ago who probably never even knew who I was. So, and they're like, dude, your logic was unimpressive. He was basically arguing that we know that God exists because there's consciousness in the universe. That's his literal argument. I'm not even strawmanning him. That's what it boiled down to. So that's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. But because but we will take a look. So I actually uploaded so we can see his new style of video. This one's 3 minutes. We're not going to watch the whole thing, but we can take a look at about maybe a minute of this to see what he's up to. This is Millsrow here. This video right now on this stream is going to get 6 times the views that it got on his channel. So here we go.
I like Howie Hawkins. He's smart. He's progressive. But you absolutely should not vote for him. The way our electoral college system is designed is called plurality takes all. To win a state, you don't need the majority of votes. You don't need more than 50%. You just need more votes than anyone else got, even if that's far less than a majority. Let's say that there are 3 candidates. One of them believes in universal single-payer healthcare and wants to see a carbon externality capture implemented. We'll call that candidate, strictly hypothetically, Howie. Then there's a second candidate. We'll call him Joe, who believes in universal healthcare, although admittedly not single-payer healthcare, and also believes in climate change, although admittedly he supports cap and trade, which is of course not as economically efficient as a straight externality capture like Howie supports. If it was an election solely between Howie and Joe, someone who believes in climate change and doesn't believe in leaving innocent people at risk of financially bankrupting themselves due to their healthcare costs, would of course vote for Howie. But unfortunately, there's a third candidate running. A candidate we'll call Ronald McDonald. You see, Ronald McDonald literally doesn't believe climate change exists. Ronald McDonald is perfectly willing to watch thousands of Americans die on the street from preventable and easily treated diseases.
Yeah. So
what a deep political analysis that was.
So I verified this because I wasn't sure, because of course my school computer is kind of not up to par so much these days. I wasn't sure if that was buffering issues on my end. I went to go and watch the video in a separate tab on his channel. No, that was his editing style where it's all clunky and stuff like that.
I thought that was weird. Yeah.
That was not me. That was not my internet. That was him.
That was his school computer, not mine.
Yeah, that is correct. I mean, at least he has one. Ian Stevens can't at least say that. So,
you could pretty much dismiss everything that he said as soon as he said, "I like Howie Hawkins." Okay, yes. Okay, you're tuned out.
Oh man, imagine having a last name that literally has the word hawk in it and being that much of an isolationist pigeon. Like, what a disappointment.
Howie Hawkins is shit. And I like how, I guess he was like, let's call this candidate Joe. And he puts up a picture of Joe Rogan. That was kind of funny.
Yeah. Oh man, that guy is obsessed. I mean, you were talking about earlier, Reese, about the difference between a passion and an obsession. Before you guys came on tonight, I was just giving an overview of the drama involving, some new beef with Richard Smith, where he and I, we don't really get along anymore. And I always thought of him as kind of a meme, except now he is
Why
a
do you hate Nikki Haley, Kevin?
no, dude. You hate Nikki Haley, dude.
No, you hate Nikki Haley.
Okay,
Nikki Haley.
I'm her biggest fan. I'm her only true #1 fan on this whole platform.
I
Debate.
want her milk.
I have 136 restraining orders in 408 jurisdictions pending against me, filed by Nikki Haley. I'm a bigger fan than you are.
Hey, see, that means she knows who I am. I win.
Oh, shit.
Dude, he was so salty for like weeks. He kept saying how like, yeah, but Kevin won't follow me because of his stupid rule. With the elephant in the room being that I wasn't even following 99 people. I thought that was funny because it's like, no, I'm not following you for more reasons than just that. So, you know.
Oh yeah, no, that's the only reason. I just don't want to follow more than 99 people. Apparently he couldn't go to your page and look at the number clearly displayed of people you follow.
Well, he unfollowed me, so he went and he definitely saw my page, but he's out there saying how I'm a Nikki Haley hater right now, and that he's like the true king of neocons because he has more followers than me now, even though I won the election with 60% in a field of 4 people and 300 votes, and he was calling for a new election.
If we're going by that logic, then surely Reese would be the king of the Hawks because he's got the biggest following on both platforms, YouTube and Twitter.
Oh, but he's a Nikki Haley hater, so he doesn't count.
People have called me the neocon king for years, despite me never calling myself a neocon. So I'd like to think that that's further cucking of Richard Smith, who also, by the way, before that poll, publicly said, neocon Twitter is cringe. I'm no longer a neocon. I'm an imperialist. But now he wants to be the king of the neocons.
He's out here right now saying that if you support Trump, you hate children. But he's gone at least 5 times at this point and said, no, I support Trump because Nikki Haley supports Trump.
What? So, he turned on Trump?
Again.
What in the world?
Yeah, because apparently Ian Stevens, this is just my conjecture at this point, but based on what I saw on Twitter earlier where Ian Stevens tweeted out open borders with the sunglasses emoji, my guess is Ian Stevens was talking to Richard and was like, hey man, Trump has a restrictive immigration policy, but if you actually are a big fan of Nikki Haley, you should be for open borders. And because Richard Smith has tweeted at me because I'm not for open borders and said, your immigration policy would prevent Nikki Haley's parents from coming to America. No, dude, okay. Everything really comes back to Nikki Haley. Okay, there was that.
How is it? That's amazing how we can take literally anything and find a way of
the 6 degrees of Nikki Haley.
Yeah. No, yeah, 6 degrees of Nikki Haley.
Dude,
oh my God.
So I basically, anytime I tweet out, various stuff, sometimes he'll respond and be like, oh yeah, but what about Nikki Haley or this and that? Or like, well, why do you hate Nikki Haley and everything? The guy literally unironically runs a Facebook page called Nikki Haley is a Wonderful Person. So the guy's a goofball. The guy's a goofball. He said he's not a neocon. He also disavowed the label like a couple of weeks ago. He identified as an imperialist, which is also funny. So he's an open borders imperialist.
One. and I guess Ian Stevens is open borders as well. It's very, very odd.
I think Ian Stevens pulled Richard Smith away from Trump or whatever, I guess to stir drama or whatnot. I don't know. Like, even Ian Stevens is not a serious person. Richard Smith is serious about this. He's not trolling, but he's also a complete clown show. So, like, he's 100% genuine, though. Like, I'm convinced the dude is not a troll at this point. So
I don't have the full context here, but I'm reading that Nikki Haley's parents, they moved to Canada from India, obviously, after her father received a scholarship offer from the University of British Columbia. And when her father received his PhD, they moved to South Carolina. So I don't really see, like, you'd have to have a pretty extreme immigration policy to be refusing Canadians into the United States.
What I don't understand is that I specifically have said before about immigration that I want, things like a point-based system where, if you provide, if you have talents or skills, this kind of stuff that we have a shortage for in the country, the guy's got, like, he's getting a PhD in whatever. Like, obviously, he's going to rank higher on that than, like, somebody who just, wants to come in or whatever. It's like also, I support an asylum system, too. And a refugee system, right? So it's like the thing is though, I'm not down with like this libertarian / like super woke idea where it's like what Charlie Kirk used to be about and stuff, where it's just like basically deregulate the border so much because let's keep it real. You're not really doing the migrants a favor. There's a reason why the Koch bros and stuff support that stuff. They want cheap labor. So that's kind of my view of it. So they don't want to pay.
No, it obviously hurts the workforce here because it's going to affect a lot of wages overall. If corporations can afford to pay people for cheap, with fewer, if no benefits at all, that's the route they're going to take.
So they've called me a socialist over that before. They said, well, how can you call yourself a capitalist and everything? Because I make the point that
because you can only call yourself a capitalist if you just believe in making money at all costs.
Well, yeah, they're like, yeah, but you oppose labor mobility and all this kind of stuff. And so it's like I got news for everybody watching this. Those companies, those meat packing plant CEOs that support, lax border control. Yeah, that's so that they can pay migrants risking their lives to come in 20 cents an hour and not have to hire Americans.
Labor mobility. We're trying to advance this country, and we're trying to rely less on labor of that sort. We're trying to advance technologically. We're trying to
xenophobe.
Like there's going to be so much innovation in the workforce over the next couple decades, and hopefully we'll make a lot of that, a lot of this kind of thinking obsolete. And then we'll have to obviously, there'll be a lot of calls for some kind of UBI program in the face of that, but no, this idea of just like getting more like low skilled people and just throwing big bodies at a problem. It's such an archaic way of addressing any kind of societal. It's like what a pharaoh would do.
I was gonna say it's like the Canaanites versus the Israelites. We'll produce more babies, bro. And like have a war and stuff, and whoever's got.
I need low skilled people who will work for cheap. They don't ask for a lot. They don't ask for any benefits, and I'm just going to throw these people who are even less than wage slaves just at my problems until they go away and they make me a mountain of money.
Yeah, don't these people? Let's keep it real. These people don't see any frame of reference, any reference group related to countries at all. Like I talk about the whole sovereignty bros on the other end of it, where they're like, oh, but it's a sovereign country. Well, on the other end, on the other lunatic end, you have the libertarian or Young Turks type open borders people who say, well, how is it any business of the U.S. government to tell somebody who's willing to work that they can't come in and all this stuff? And it's like
I thought they didn't want people to work to begin with. And on the realist point, how is this a proper balance of powers? Taking the workforce from other countries to strengthen our own capitalist system?
Well, I know what it is. Let's just keep it real here. Ian Stevens is somebody who, even though his views are 100% more I would say despicable. I know a lot of people don't like my views when it comes to the nuke pill and stuff, but like, let's keep it real. This guy, Ian Stevens, is a realist who's totally fine with Turkey and the Muslim Brotherhood and all that kind of crap. He is a darling of Globe Twitter. And Globe Twitter is huge on open borders because they're like, well, if a boss wants to hire somebody for whatever wage and they want to come in, what business is it of the US government to say that they can't come in and work in a meat packing plant for 20 cents an hour? Like, these are the libertarians. Like, they're not, the thing is, they're not exactly libertarians because they're also super socially woke. So they'll dress it up with like, these ideas of, well, they're oppressed peoples, and if you're against this, you must hate migrants or whatever. It's like I make the point all the time. I'm like, even if you didn't care about the American people at all, even if you didn't care about the Canadian people at all, if your only reference group is migrants, you've still got to understand the only reason these people want them here is so that they can screw them over and pay them less than minimum wage. So, that's what it is. Like, you think like that the CEOs of these like meat packing plants are like, oh, they just in their hearts they really they want to help out downtrodden Latinos that are coming from like Mexico and Central America. That's why they pay them like $2 an hour and don't let them leave the compound and stuff, and like keep them basically in cages. Ironically, I mean, not literal cages like a detention center, but they live on the premises, that kind of stuff. I mean, it's a shit show. Like, illegal immigration is a problem, and illegal immigrants aren't winning. Nobody's winning from it. The only people that are winning are these greedy corporate profit mongers that, instead of making a better product or being more competitive or streamlining their system or whatever, they'll just be like, oh, we'll go outside the border and we'll pay a bunch of desperate people less than minimum wage. So like, I don't like it, but that makes me xenophobe and a Nikki Haley hater. So
it's very much degenerative capitalism. It's all the worst aspects of capitalism without the positives that we would normally tout. But
we lost Jay. Where did Jay go?
I noticed that. Maybe he just got a little busy. I'm sure he'll pop back in. But I was gonna say the nuke pill, while it's not a mainstream idea for sure, it's not immoral compared to anything that Ian Stevens has said. I mean, it's not even close. It's basically following Harry Truman logic of why, the only time in history that nuclear weapons were used. It's the same kind of logic being used there of, well, these are the ultimate deterrent against greater violence. So if it's being done to pursue a greater goal like that, then I think by default it's not immoral. The intent behind actions does matter.
Oh man, speaking of that, I've had a few absolute brainlets recently post memes on my meme page, basically implying that neocons are Leonid Brezhnev and Joseph Stalin, because those guys they basically did wars in Europe and they built up the military, and neocons also build up the military. So literally,
so is every society ever.
Yeah, like that's like saying that the Byzantines were neocons. They had a military, didn't they? So
there were fighting men. The Spartans, obvious neocons.
But the Athenians also neocons. They had a navy, so it was neocon on neocon violence. Dude, the Peloponnesian War, dude, it was neocon on neocon violence.
That's just, you hate to see it.
You hate to see it, dude. You hate to see it. Like, why can't all the neocons just get along? Why can't, like, Al Qaeda and like the Soviet Union and like John Bolton and the Taliban just like get together and sing Kumbaya and be like, oh, we're all neocons?
I loved seeing a lot of the bitching about Tulsi today, because it was basically it was a lot of lines like, oh, so anti-war hero Tulsi Gabbard doesn't get to speak, but warmongers Sean Kasich and Colin Powell get to speak. This is wrong.
It's wrong.
And then there were people who were kind of like Anna Kasparian types, and they were they were like super crazy. Like they're even worse, where they'll be like, actually, Tulsi is the warmonger because she wanted to take out Al Qaeda.
Yeah.
And then these other people, they throw up their excuse. Well, actually, yeah, she's just against regime change wars.
Yeah.
I've always said it, but I do prefer the consistency of the people who are obviously further left on this topic and are extreme pacifists and just oppose and abhor violence in any form, because
For sure.
Tulsi Gabbard is a warmonger by her stupid definition. So
Yes, that's true.
I
That's
mean,
true.
it's bizarrely selected to be like, oh, I'm against Al Qaeda. I think that we should go after Al Qaeda because of 9/11, but she doesn't think that we should deal with the Taliban. What is even the guiding principle of her worldview at all? Especially if she's a single issue politician. She's not even really a politician anymore.
That's right. That's right. She is.
She's a nobody.
She's going to be trying to get a job, I guess, to replace Abby Martin, because Abby Martin's over at Telesur now. So Russia Today needs somebody new. So,
I'm sure she'd get it, but it's, she's a very useful asset in that regard. But no, it's just that's what's annoying to me, because I made a joke about it today, but it does legitimately tick me off that you could have someone like Bashar al-Assad, who is functionally a terrorist, who's worked with terrorists, has employed extremist tactics time and time again, rules with an autocratic iron fist. He's basically a terrorist who just happens to have, been given the keys to the kingdom, and his family has ruled Syria for a very long time. And will continue to do so if no one actually gets their shit together. But, that's okay, because we need to fight the terrorists in Syria. Well, I believe in fighting terrorists in Syria. There just seems to be one that's unaccounted for. And I'm tired of someone who's functionally a terrorist throwing on a suit and tie. Oh, and they're a good guy. That's like a modern leader. They deserve sovereignty and respect. And no,
the sovereignty.
It makes no sense. It's the same thing with like the Muslim Brotherhood. They put on suits. Oh, they're not extremists. They're not Islamists. They're wearing suits. Same thing with Nation of Islam. Look at those nice young lads wearing suits. You put on a suit and you're fine. That's my advice to all the terrorists of the world. Put on suits. Establish some faux borders, maybe write a fake constitution, and offer to join the United Nations, and a bunch of Tulsis will defend you forever. They'll come up with some excuse that you have like some blood right to the land or something like that. And I got to thinking about it, because obviously Tulsi's like, her inconsistency on the whole Taliban Al Qaeda thing is pretty well known. But I got to thinking like, based on a previous stream, I wonder what Tulsi has said recently about Pakistan. And then I thought about it a little bit more, and I'm like, I actually don't want to hear what she has said about Pakistan, because she's a Hindu nationalist.
Well, there is something about, Tulsi where, I mean, if she was ever going to do a regime change war, it would be against Pakistan. So, with nukes probably. So, that's that's Tulsi.
Yeah, there's no one wins. No one wins in that fight.
Oh man.
Yeah, and then people are like, they're so shocked that she wasn't speaking. Like, where are people even? Have they been paying attention?
What would she say? She'd go there and be like, Joe Biden is a total ghoul. Like, why would anybody at the DNC invite her? She would crash the party even if she was invited.
She's known as like the token Democrat who hates other Democrats and like goes on Fox News every week to bash Democrats. Like it would just be awkward. It would be extremely awkward. It's like everything that Bernie said that was negative about the DNC is tame compared to what Tulsi has said. And they roasted Bernie alive for what he said.
Yeah.
Tulsi's not relevant. It doesn't. I don't care that she got delegates. Fuck her. And I don't care that that's how they've always done things. Well, fuck it. They can change how they do things. It's not like it's a fucking commandment from God. You can structure the convention however the fuck you want. Hey, you know what? The past conventions, they all met in person too. Oh no, it's different this time. We're not supposed to do things differently. If you do things, you need to do it the same every year, no matter what.
But Reese, you don't understand, bro. The economies of the world have always had debt.
Oh yeah, they've always, that's just how it's always been.
Oh, it's always been. I'm a radical socialist. I like Medlock. Let's do reform, but like my tradition, bro.
Hey, this is how things have always been. So why change it?
Why change it? I love that selective traditionalism. Like what a joke.
Yeah, like talk about the worst argument ever for a debt economy. I could make a better argument for a debt economy than that horseshit.
Yeah, here's an argument that you do if you don't really care about like the morality of it, if you're not really interested in actually moving towards a better place or whatever, but you think you're super smart and stuff, and you want to work at Goldman Sachs one day, you say something like, well, people take on risk by their own free will, and those who lend money know that those people might default on it. That's why they charge interest on behalf of it. And so there you go. And you just look at it in a microcosm. I mean, you don't think of how that scales up and whatnot. But that is a cogent argument for having an economy saturated in debt. But tradition is a dumb argument, even if you think that that's the right economic approach. So
it's how we've always done it.
I
think it's funny that a lot of our political opponents would, they would label themselves as economically progressive. But when it comes to economic issues, I think that we are far more concerned with the ethics involved.
Yeah, I've said it before. I don't understand the point in keeping a system like this if it doesn't really serve anybody. And I don't care about money at the end of the day. I've said it before. I would rather have a happier and healthier psychologically society that might have a 2% slower growth rate or whatever. And I don't care. I don't believe that growth founded on an illusion is like debt is worth it in my view. And I mean, I know way too many people that it's just completely ruined their lives and killed any sort of opportunity. And, obviously it hasn't been good for me. And yeah, there are people that made the argument that said, well, you talk about how Dave Ramsey, he didn't borrow money and he went from being bankrupt to having $20 million. But you don't understand, dudes. Like, you don't understand, dude. There are people out there who they have like billions of dollars and they borrowed money all the way. And I'm like, here's the deal. I would rather have $20 million and be guaranteed of it the whole time, always adding to my account, than make, have a net worth of $1 billion, but probably also have like $900 million in liabilities and shit, and have everything really kind of, on the edge or whatever. Like, there are people out there that might have, $1 billion in actual wealth, but if the whole time you've accrued like $6 or $7 billion of debt over that time, it's like, well, at that point, you've basically given somebody else. Like, you could have had a lot more than $1 billion if you weren't giving banks and lenders like half of the money, basically. Like, if you do realty or whatever, say you buy a house, if it takes you 20 years to pay off your mortgage, 25 years, you're giving the bank more than the value of the house, even at a low interest rate like right now. in Canada in the 80s, we got up to close to 30% interest rates. So even if you had a cheap house, people went bankrupt. Because imagine you have a house that's $300,000, which, back in the 1980s would have been, a medium to nice house, but there were a lot of middle class, upper middle class people that had those. Now you have to pay $100,000 a year in interest. Well, if you have a $300,000 house, chances are you're making, like, in the 1980s, like $40,000 a year if you're like upper middle class back then. That's like 80 something today. People were fucked, and those people were in the top 20%. So if it doesn't serve anybody, like, what's even the point? And you would say, well, yeah, but what about AIG? What about the huge lenders? What about these huge lending outlets? They must be winning. Yeah, then why did AIG need $160 billion the second things went south? Why did Fannie Mae go bankrupt? Why did Freddie Mac go bankrupt? Like, if this is at least supposed to be winning for the people on the top, why were they the first to collapse? Like, everybody's over leveraged. Even the people that are on top are over leveraged. Nobody's winning. The only people that are winning in this are people like Dave Ramsey that don't have to worry about it. And they may not be as in absolute terms rich. I can guarantee Dave Ramsey is a lot less stressed out than the people managing the portfolio of an incredibly over leveraged company like for example even Dell. Like, I like Dell. Dell makes good products, but they've taken out stupid loans. Like, we're talking like $50 billion or whatever. And you're like, well, they're a productive company. They can pay it back and everything. But it's like, yeah, but what happens if something goes wrong? Then your whole company goes down. And people say, oh, well, that's not personal money. It's like the Trump argument. They say, well, you don't understand, Kevin. If your company goes bankrupt, you don't go bankrupt. As if the thousands of employees don't matter. Like, as if a corporation going down is somehow supposed to be neutral. Like when Sears went under, like, people lost their livelihoods, like that should matter. Like,
remember,
corporate bankruptcy is a tragedy.
Corporations aren't people. except they are. They're actually a collection of many people.
Oh, we got Keko Kudava here. Genghis Khan was a huge neocon. I forgot about him. He was the Khan of neocons. No, dude, he was the king of neocons.
There's a good Twitter name, Neocon.
Neocon. No, dude, that is potent. That's a good meme. That's a really good meme. Oh my god, that's a good meme.
I'm gonna change my name real quick.
Oh my god, dude. Okay, so while you were talking earlier, I prepared 7 memes, so we can take a look at these memes. I'm pretty proud of this one. I'm pretty proud of the one that we're about to take a look at right now. A few of these are posted up on my meme page. So this one right here, we were talking about traditionalism. Well, actually, I am kind of an old school traditionalist. I said, I'm like, you can call me an old school traditionalist, but I strongly support the nuclear family. One Navy, one Air Force, one strategic command, just as God intended, right? So that one's pretty nuke pilled, so.
That's pretty good.
We got another one. Feel like crap, just want her back. It's Gene Kirkpatrick right there. Now, she's a pill for sure. The idea that you can fund and support dictators in Latin America against the Soviets, but also support democracy in the long run. That's a pill,
Yeah, it reminded me. Actually, you know what? That reminded me. I've got a funny tweet I'm gonna read to you. I can find it. Here it is. Okay. It's from it's from Mehdi Hassan. So that should tell you something.
Wait, I might be blocked by this guy. I'll take a look at this. Mehdi Hassan. I know one of them blocked me. No, it must not have been that guy. That guy is huge. See if I can.
Yeah, no, I would have been surprised if he did, but no, he said, you'll find this funny based on something we were talking about earlier in the group chat. But
no, I'm blocked. There's no way. I can't find him. What's his at?
At Mehdi. Oh, sorry. At Med E.R. Hassan.
Is that Mehdi with an H? Is it M-E?
Yeah. MEHDIRHASAN.
Oh, so MEHDIRHASAN. HD. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, you won't find it. I'll just read it for you. But he he oh my god, this is actually I can't even you're gonna laugh. There's another one too.
No,
Okay.
he blocked me, dude. I can't find him. No, he blocked me, man.
You heard it here first. He shived Kevin right there.
I'm blocked by Media's son. I wonder if Greenwald blocked me. You know, Glenn. That guy's a goofball, dude. I call him basically the left's Dave Rubin. No, he hasn't blocked me yet because
if you can even consider him a part of the left at this point.
well, that's true. That's true.
He's such a contrarian. Anyway, Mehdi Hassan says the same foreign policy people in DC who spent years telling us that democratizing the Middle East was key to peace and stability, supported a military coup against an elected president in Egypt, and now support an unelected Gulf dictator's peace deal with Israel. Surprise.
Wait, what a brainlet. Oh man. Wait, how aren't you blocked by him? If he's gonna block somebody like me, he's definitely gonna block you.
He doesn't have me blocked. I don't tweet at him, so
okay. I'm not sure if I didn't directly tweet at him, but I must have replied to something that he was in, and he saw that I was the king of neocons and blocked me. So
okay, there's an even funnier part to this because somebody under this said, "But peace is good," and he responded. He responded with a quote from Martin Luther King Jr. that says, "Peace is not merely to absence of this tension, but the presence of justice."
Wait, that sounds like some Nazi stuff, dude. Like, kill the Jews.
Unbelievable to be like, so
what?
He's like, I thought these people are like, I thought you liked peace, and he's like,
dude,
well,
he did the meme. He did the meme because we always talk about how like these people aren't actually like pacifists; they're just anti-American.
Oh yeah, they're not pacifists. That's ridiculous.
Like they're not pacifists. An actual pacifist would welcome this idea because they would say, well, finally, maybe we can get closer to Arabs and Jews getting along in the Middle East. You know, that's what a pacifist would say. And a pacifist wouldn't be like, oh, but Israel lost territory or whatever here. A pacifist would be neutral about it. This guy clearly not so neutral. So, that's hilarious, dude. Oh man, I'm gonna find. Oh, they're so salty. I've got another one right here. We were talking about this on the Superpower Broadcasting chat earlier, but I want to bring this one up for the friends and fans watching tonight. This tweet is amazing. This is from a guy, Nadim Mir, and he's tweeting out under the hashtag UAE stabs Muslims, which is being, making the rounds on Twitter in the wake of the peace deal. Oh, they're triggered. They are so upset that the UAE is actually going to get along with, Jerusalem right now. This is the tweet right here. I am Pakistani. I know our passport isn't number one. It's actually fourth from the bottom in terms of accessibility in world ranking. But it's number one in ideology, dignity, and humanity. Hashtag UAE stabs Muslims. And then you got some pictures of Jews being pushed in the bottom. And it says right there, this passport is valid for all countries of the world except Israel. That's the mask. That's like the Wojak that's crying with the smug mask over him. That's Pakistan right there. Like, no,
my legacy, my dignity, my ideology.
Well, I was gonna say, I'm like, humanity, really? One of the largest sponsors of terrorism in the world. Dignity, yeah, right. They hid Bin Laden from America while receiving US aid, but ideology, he's not wrong there. There's a lot of ideology going on in Pakistan. So, like, by the way, number one in ideology. The communists could have said that. Like, is that even necessarily what does that even mean? Like, if you said number one in whatever your, like, let's say your ideology is Islamism, then you say number one in Islamism, but number one in ideology, that's just kind of a weird phrasing, because any country can claim they're number one in ideology. It's like, America would say number one in democracy, Soviets would say number one in communism, but like number one in ideology just sounds goofy. It's just but this guy, not a parody, that's a real dude. So
number one in basket weaving.
I like this from Arthur. He says ideology is my city, in reference to
it's also my state. So ideology, ideology.
No, dude, I love that. That's a reference, of course, to Jake, Smarter Than Ron Paul, who did the song "It's Every Day, Bro." And in it, he talks about how he's selling more merch than a God church. And his buddy says, "London is my city." Or no, he says, "England is my city." So, and the dude's British. So you're like, wait, what? England is your city? That's like, oh yeah, Washington. Well, Washington's a state and a city. Let's see. Idaho's my city, bro. Like,
he's just such an international giant. One country is basically a city to him.
Yeah, Russia's my city, dude. Like, I live in like Siberia, my city.
I've got 1 foot in Russia, 1 foot in the other city of Siberia.
Yeah, dude. Okay. Oh man, we're gonna get back to the memes, but one of the guys commented on the meme with "Hot Gang are the true fascists." So oh, they're salty, man. Oh, okay. So
is that to imply that anyone else who identifies as a fascist is a fake fascist?
Oh, that's a good point. Because
that sounds like a fascist apologist in every shape of the
if
word.
Like the Hawks are fascists, then like, what does that make Hitler and Mussolini and stuff? Oh man, that's hilarious. But here's the one that I was talking about earlier. This is amazingly brainlit. So the first image that we're going to see is his caption of it. Well, no, we'll go to that after. This is the first one. This guy replies to this with me. I'm just going to remove the chyron so that we can all read the text. It's a comic of Leonid Brezhnev with a portrait of Vladimir Lenin in the background, and he's giving a speech at the Kremlin. It says, "We maintain the right to wage preemptive war unilaterally wherever we feel our interests are at risk." And then it's captioned with "intellectual grandfather of Bush." And it's kind of hammer and sickle there.
This has been the reasoning of any militaristic group. This isn't like you have to think. You have to be a bit smarter than this, than whoever made this meme. You have to think a little bit more deeply than this about what's going on in the world.
I just love how, like, Brezhnev here is George W. Bush's grandfather. H.W. Bush, of course, was his father. So, like, long, not just lifelong communists, but like generational communists. Like.
Let me hit you with an analogy. Imagine that there was someone like a spokesperson for the Boston Red Sox. And they gave a speech and they said, by all means, we're going to play hard and we're going to win. And then the Yankees utilized the same strategy of trying to win. And then someone said, "Wow, the Yankees taking tips from the Red Sox."
No, dude,
they should want
exactly
to lose.
Yeah, they should try to lose.
Only the Red Sox want to win.
Yeah, dude, it's like I'm just imagining right now, like you could actually make like a parody sports film like that, where it's like you have the coach on one side is like suing the coach on the other for stealing like his ideology or whatever, because he got transcripts. He actually got leaked transcripts from the locker room, or he was basically saying, he's like, "So we're going to go out there and we're going to kick ass and we're going to score big." And he's like, "That's what I told my team to do." It's like Greg with the suit thing. It's like it's got the
I copyrighted this suit.
It's like they literally go to court over it. It's like you have like you know, you got the Red Sox versus the Yankees or whatever, and they go to court, and the judge is like, so the plaintiff here is basically arguing that the defendant jacked his strategy. The plaintiff argues that his strategy was to kick ass and score big, and we have transcript that we're going to play for the court right now, and it's the other coach out there that's saying like, okay, so we're going to go to the game and we're going to score big points and we're going to kick ass, and the jury or whatever is just like, oh, and they find them guilty of plagiarism, of meme theft, whatever, you know. Like what a joke. This I can't get over how stupid this is right here, because it's like, you know, you're right, Reese. You could bring anything. You could bring up the Romans, the Byzantines. You could bring up the Gauls. You could bring up the Apache. You could bring up the Russians, like the old school Russians. No, they specifically decide, because they all had militaries, they specifically decide to go to the Soviet Union with Brezhnev to try to make Bush look like a communist. So
it's just it's a stupid. I know that we've talked about like, oh my god, yeah, neocons are just, you know, they're just Trotskyites, but it's a stupid way to argue, because any militaristic group in human history that's been interested in their, you know, their place in the world, their expansion, the ideas that they hold dear, is going to utilize a similar foreign policy. So it doesn't make any sense.
It's so dumb. But this guy, this goofball, captioned it. This guy's a long-time hater of my meme page. He like comments on every meme I've ever posted with hate and stuff. He says commies and neocons are one and the same, and that's him unironically.
From the communist point of view, that's a completely understandable foreign policy. And it's not to say that we sympathize with that, but it's more like we understand that, yeah, of course, if you have smart military leaders in your camp, you are going to be, you know, you're going to be pushing your agenda, and that's what happened during the Cold War. So it's not that we're making an excuse for it. It's more like we just understand that's the danger. That's what we're up against. And obviously you have to be prepared for anything if that's your enemy. I mean, if anything, this is neoconservatism in America was born out of an opposition to communism. And if this is the primary foreign policy opinion of communists, it's not exactly surprising. Okay, if they believe, yeah, we have the right to wage preemptive war unilaterally, well, of course, then the opposition in America is going to feel the same way, because that's the only possible way that you could stay one step ahead of them. It's not surprising. So basically, it's like, that foreign policy was already claimed. You need to get your own. You need to have one where you just, kneel over in the fetal position and give up, and then you can at least be original before you're taken over.
It's hilarious. Like, I'm just going to read through a bit of the thread of what happened with the replies, because somebody who, obviously understands this responded with, this is what
look at the guy. Look at the absolute Neanderthal who posted this.
Yes.
Dude, shave your fucking disgusting head. Look at that. Look at those. Look at those. The hair, it's like wings.
They always look like that, dude. Major Gabbard. Major
Gabbard. Bunch of.
It's a different person. That's a different person, but like
unwashed hippies.
But like, okay, so this spawned a bit of controversy because somebody came in here and said, this is what absolute morons actually believe, in response to this guy. And then I responded with, neocons want to liberate communist regimes with military force. That's as anti-communist as it gets, you brainlet. And he responds with, no, they're both imperialist. And, like what a smooth brain.
I wonder for what purposes, what's the end result of the imperialism? It would be like saying, Okay, technically what the United States did to Japan was imperialism. Do you think that there would have been a similar result if Japan did that to the United States? Oh, it's both imperialism.
It's imperialism.
It's the same. It's an invasion, and it's a violation of sovereignty. It's wrong. It's imperialism.
So I
except Japan is like an amazing country now, and if fascist Japan had won and basically trampled over America for the better part of a century, America right now probably wouldn't be so awesome. That's the difference.
So I respond here with cool false equivalence, bro. And he responds with, it's not a false equivalent. Yeah, he said equivalent. Okay, whatever. It's not a false equivalent. These are the opposite of tankies. Lol. I'm not even sure what that's and then he tags one of his friends, and then somebody else comes in and says, yes, nothing says freedom like murdering people for regime change. XD. And then this Jesse
for regime change.
Like for regime change. Like
I do it for my god of regime change.
Oh man, we got John Smith here in the studio. I just noticed him. Welcome, John.
Yeah, sorry. Can you hear me?
I can. Yeah.
The weebs have invaded.
Oh, no, there's an echo, I think.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm doing this from my phone right now, so
okay.
That's probably why it's
you sound
but
sound good to me.
Yeah, no, we can hear you though. Oh man, we're just raiding through right now this brainlet that posted absolute cringe on one of my memes over on Facebook. He continues with, yes, the USSR and America both attack sovereign countries. So he's unironic. He's not a troll. Like, this guy's serious. He's a longtime hater. He's been like a year posting cringe on all my memes. So
yeah, I don't know. I guess it's sort of like the they're trying to use the not the fishhook theory, but like the sort of like this illusion that both sides are the same,
Both sides, bro. Both sides.
Are very good people on both sides. Very good people.
They would normally condemn both sides' rhetoric, but I guess here it serves their purposes.
It serves their purposes.
Did you hear?
Well, if they were smarter, they would condemn them for different reasons.
Yes.
No, dude, they're the same. They both invade countries, dude.
Yeah, so have most countries.
No, it continues because somebody comes in and explains to this brainlet what I'm trying to say, which actually this is the friend that he tagged. So this is kind of weird. He said what he's saying is Takis and neocons. Oh no, he's trying to explain to me why his friend is right. He says, because obviously I don't read every comment I get. I get like hundreds of these by brainlets. He says, but I'm just reading through this for the first time now. It's pretty cringy. He says what he's saying in reference to Jesse is tankies and neocons are the opposite complements of each other. They both support unilateral violent force against sovereign countries in the name of ideology. There we go.
Completely, diametrically opposed ideologies. But yeah, sure, ideology.
Ideology. It's just democracy, fascism, communism. It's just ideology, bro.
It's really the invasion that counts. it's not the effect of the invasion.
These guys are not like children, by the way. These guys are like adults. They're like 20s, 30s.
You know what it really feels like? It's a desperate attempt for communists to distance themselves from tankies who are real communists who actually believe in the tenets of communism and the history of communism. So it's like the difference between a cucks like Vaush and whoever that one guy he was debating.
Caleb Maupin, who actually defended China and Stalin and said, like, they were great socialist leaders.
So Caleb Maupin is a tanky. He's actually a real communist because a real communist would
Who is Caleb Maupin? I don't know this guy.
Oh man, that guy. He works for Russia Today. He's a big fan of
Oh.
Joseph Stalin, Vladimir Putin, Chairman Mao, and Xi
Oh,
Jinping.
okay. So this guy. Okay. So this guy. I just never heard the name before. Like, is this a new character on the scene that's
Well,
been floating around the past few months?
no, he's been at it for quite a few years. Actually, he's got about 10,000 subs, so same size as Reese channel approximately.
Oh God, don't compare him to me.
Oh, he has a YouTube.
Hey, dude, you guys both have ideology, though. You guys both
we both have channels.
You guys both have YouTube. You guys are like both neocons, dude.
We
You both
both have YouTube. YouTube is free.
you guys both have
Both have
YouTube.
YouTube accounts.
Oh
No,
yeah,
You both
that's-
have.
it was
You both
really
have
difficult to
communities,
set up.
bro.
You guys both have the YouTube, man.
We both have faces.
You guys both have suits. Okay. You guys both owe Greg royalties for
That's
inventing the
that's
suit.
what it feels like, though. It's this very desperate, like, oh, I'm a communist, but man, fuck the tankies, and like we're not, And actually, the reason why the tankies were bad is because they were like neocons. So it's basically just another reason, another chance to shit on neocons.
Oh, for sure. They literally call like neocon Trotskyites. But so then Andrei Chernyshев, who is a fan of the page, comes in, really big fan of the page, actually, absolutely hates Putin, comes in and says, you're arguing about a Bush as straw man who's not in power anymore, but like also not really too much a fan of Bush and stuff. It brings up like some link to Belarus. And then Jesse says, and the link from about Belarus is from Radio Free Europe talking about Lukashenko the other day. And then Jesse says, I can't condemn Lukashenko for assassinating. So he agrees to the terms of what's being said. He doesn't just dismiss it as propaganda. He's like, oh yeah, he's assassinating people. He says, I can't condemn Lukashenko for assassinating his enemies any more than I can condemn George Washington for leading a violent insurgency.
What?
That is
So
both sides.
Wait. What? I can't seem to wrap my head around that. Look,
I can
like,
bring
you
up a screenshot.
I'll help you wrap your head around it. This is
my brain isn't too. I'm a big dummy. I can't wrap my
Your
brain around.
galaxy
I can't
brain.
wrap my brain around this
It's so
PhD
weird,
level thesis right here.
No, it gets so weird because this guy actually, this is a shocker. This is actually a shocker to me when it happened. It'll be a shocker to you guys. Take a guess at this guy's stance on the Vietnam War. Was this guy for it? Was this guy against it?
Well, see, the thing you're misunderstanding is that violence within one's, arbitrarily defined borders is fine. As soon as you go outside the borders, it's wrong. It's horrible. It's ghastly. It's ghoulish.
It's ghoulish. No, he actually, it turns out, no, he supported the Vietnam War.
Yeah, that's what I was going to guess too.
Look,
at least he's consistent.
I mean, he supported American intervention. He this is Jesse here. He says, I can't condemn Lukashenko for assassinating his enemies any more than I can condemn George Washington for leading a violent insurgency. So I'm like, dude, we're neocons and hawks. We're against Lukashenko. Neocons fight commie dictators. These bootlickers sing their praise.
That comparison's also garbage. Because George Washington was not the president. He wasn't the president. He led a violent insurgency. It's the power dynamics are not.
Yeah, I was about to say there wasn't an election yet.
he was like the Democratic opposition in Belarus.
These are not balanced as all things should.
When Washington was fighting the British, right? There was no establishment at that point of an actual functioning government. I mean, with the Lukashenko thing, that was during an election, and that's an election where the results are very suspicious because it's from the very broad spectrum from what I see of that election right now, it very much seems like that one candidate was really getting a short end of the stick. So one is during an election and one is not.
Oh man, there's more. This gets so much weirder though. This gets so much weirder because it goes on, and so he says, I'm fine with legal anti-commie wars, like Vietnam or Korea.
What does
And I
that
was shocked.
mean?
But because I was shocked, I was expecting, like, I've never seen one of these guys who makes these arguments actually defend the Vietnam War or the Korean War. But then I'm like, legal is a social construct. How cucked are you? It's an anarchic world. And then he goes on, and this
It's
gets
legal.
it's legal, bro. But then
Was it legal by the standards of the communists in Vietnam and Korea?
But no, he's actually defending like the American side there. But then he says, then somebody else comes in. This Hank the Tank Goodson dude comes in and says they, referencing the neocons and hawks, says want to quote unquote liberate communist regimes by replacing them with quote unquote anti-communist fascist regimes, which kill even more people. and then Jesse says, all imperialism is evil. End of story. And then I'm like, okay, wrong. Communist regimes kill 10 times or more people than fascist regimes. And then he comes in and says, even killing one innocent is evil. Quote unquote genocide is a spook.
Oh,
What?
Yo, he would click quite nicely with the pro-lifers here. You know, like you can't kill one baby.
As soon as there's a
kill any
heartbeat.
baby, you're doing the Holocaust.
No. This guy, even killing one innocent is evil. Genocide is a spook. So, like, if Bashar the Butcher kills 500,000 Syrians, that by definition is evil.
Well,
But
see-
imperialism to stop him would be bad.
I
So,
think you're misunderstanding because those Syrians are very obviously not innocent,
not people.
and they're not people either. So
Yeah,
They're obviously bots, don't you know?
They're
He's
bots,
killing the
dude.
bots.
They're
CIA.
haters.
He's-
No, dude,
He's pulling
haters.
the plug on
They're
their
Assad haters.
on their
Why do you guys
servers.
hate Assad?
if killing one innocent person is evil, a genocide should be unspeakable to this person. But apparently, it's a spook.
It's a spook because it's just a term that the neocons use to justify imperialism. But then this
Oh,
guy
yeah.
used a
It's not
long.
like Thing that actually happens and
Like
has
it-
happened.
This guy that comments below, this Stanley King Barton, he as well has been following my page for about a year now and comments on almost everything I post. And he'll often tweet things like, "Why the hell are you still posting?" or like, "Shut up," and all this stuff. And I'll sometimes respond to him and be like, "Dude, you're the one following the page. You're free to leave, bro." And then he'll be like, "You're a neocon," and all this. And then one time, Wyatt,
You're a neocon.
one
Yeah,
time,
the thing is,
No,
you have to
Wyatt-
understand though, Kevin. Like they're just. I see this with many other YouTube channels and just celebrities in general. There's just this tendency on the internet for people to follow other people to just. It's like a hate follow, you know. Like,
oh, for sure.
and I'm sure you. I don't know if you have any of them on like Twitter, and I don't have any of them on Twitter because I don't hate any of the people that I follow. I don't think.
No, I don't follow anybody that I hate. There are quite a few people who follow me that hate me, but or want to follow me, but they have to open up my account in another tab because they're like Millsrow and they got blocked. But so they have to put my name in a thumbnail. Like it literally, Millsrow did a video with Jaeger where they were going over land value taxes and Georgism, and in the thumbnail of the video it says, "I love you, Kevils." Like
What? Yo, well, about Millsrow, I kind of want to go back for a minute because I don't want to give him too much more attention, but like I did sort of like an idea sparked in my mind, right? Like he was sort of making pro eugenics arguments. One of the video in that 30-minute video that you were showing, right? When you were
I
the one
didn't
about
watch
shitting out babies.
Oh
yeah, the clips. I don't know if I'd go that far, but I did comment on it being very, very disgusting descriptions of childbirth and child raising. Very
well do you
very
think,
antinatalist for sure.
How well do you think fucking Millsrow and Chris Langan would get along, Reese?
Famously, probably.
because he's using the consciousness is equal to God argument, right? Like I'm pretty sure literally that's Chris Langan's argument. Like that's his entire thesis. Consciousness. It's the reason why God exists is because of a consciousness.
Well,
Collective
no,
consciousness.
Millsrow's argument is a
That's
bit
literally
more complex.
Langan's argument.
But Millsrow's argument is a bit more complex. Millsrow argues that the emergent sum of all the consciousness in the universe literally is God. So he's
No,
not.
I think that's what Langan argues for.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like that's like part of his like basic principle of the CTMU or whatever.
Oh man.
So that's why I was thinking like we should hook him up with Chris Langan.
Oh man. This
We shouldn't hook him up with anyone. we let alone some poor woman
Oh
who
my
would have to
god.
deal with his gangly ass.
Dude, okay, so I've got a meme here from Suzuki over on Twitter. He sent me this for the page. I wanted to bring it up. I thought it was good. I thought it was cool. So this one's from Suzuki.
Oh, nice. That's Ben Norton, right?
That's Bootlicker Ben, yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Hey, he wants those rubles. I don't know, man.
He wants those boots. Bootlicker Ben.
Yeah, he was bitching about Call of Duty the other day.
Oh,
I saw that. That was so cute. So how
is-
do
this
a
is
video game talk good about American forces?
It's all the military industrial complex propaganda, man. I've had professors back in the day try to tell me stuff like I don't know if you guys know this, but Hollywood, they have a relationship with the military so that the military lets them like have aircraft carriers in their films, but then they have to have like a pro-war message.
Which films are even being discussed?
Maybe
It's-
Captain Marvel.
Yeah, that kind of
I
One
remember
movie.
when that movie came out. I know that there were a lot of accounts like, "Oh, it was in such a bad taste to make her an Air Force pilot." And I was just like, "Really?" Of all
Well, yeah,
the
no,
things
you
could
had
have
like the
complained
same
about.
account saying like it's like Captain America or Captain Marvel was like this like pro-feminist movie, and then like the same accounts like actually Captain Marvel is like pro-imperialist because the actress who plays Captain Marvel is a Air Force pilot.
Wait,
So-
why not both? Why not both?
Yeah, I know. So like, but the people who initially supported it kind of ended up hating it because of them finding out that what's her face?
Yeah,
Wait,
except
how
her-
can you be a feminist and
Mars
not
gets the
support the U.S.
Force
Air
Public.
Force? They bombed the Taliban, man.
Her being an Air Force pilot isn't even relevant to the film, honestly. Like by the
Oh,
end,
no.
she's
That-
like she's not like, all going all in for America. She's not like Captain America. Like it's ridiculous.
Oh man. So yeah, we'll get back to. I just want to finish off that thread because that Stanley guy, who like I said, he's been following my page for about a year. Always comments stuff like, "Would you just shut up?" and all this stuff. It's like, and I'll say, "Why are you following here?" And he'll be like stuff like, "Well, just cuz or whatever." Wyatt did comment at one point and responded to this guy and was like, "You're not very good at making decisions, are you?" and Stanley didn't like that too much, but he says, "Fuck neocons," and I respond with, "Fuck you." So that's my response to this dude. But we had a brainlet over on Twitter the other day, Snow Malarkey, who commented, "Imagine being a foreign policy voter." And of course I jumped right in there and I was like, "You don't have to imagine. I'm right here." So
Yeah, I saw that. And I responded to that tweet, and I said, "Oh yeah, that's how silly. It's not like the executive branch has any
I feel
power
like you
over
should have
foreign
asked.
affairs."
I feel like you should have asked that person what you're like. Well, what are you voting on? Like,
Yeah, like the real reasons to vote for an American president are you want them to select Supreme Court picks, and you want them to dictate foreign policy.
Yeah, that's like their prerogative. They don't like imagine voting for a
yeah,
president.
well, a lot of this,
Imagine voting for a president based on like economics or social issues, which they have hardly any real power over. I mean,
yeah, but that's kind of where in the past 8 to 10 years, though, that's sort of shifted a little bit because there have been so many precedents through executive orders, so that presidents can have much more influence over social issues, and I would even argue that like the I feel like the left and the right, they kind of overblow the amount of influence the president has on the economy, even though like the people are, right now Trump's group is saying, oh, the taxes made like this huge like economic boom, which is debatable. But then like the Democrats are now, not now, but they've been saying that, oh, this economy pre-COVID, this is just like Obama was the one who got our economy on track. But I don't know, like that seems kind of debatable now, right? Because like, of course, like they have the ability to have these executive orders, whether it's Obama, trying to cut off oil production, or Trump with the trade deals or whatever. That's another reason why you want to vote for an American president, is for trade. But I don't know. I feel like a lot of people put a lot of stress. Like there is something to be said. Like people like that person are probably thinking of a president as somebody who is very involved in every single, they don't really understand, like they kind of subconsciously reject the idea of checks and balances, and they kind of anticipate that the president is going to roll out whatever their agenda is. And that will be the end of it, because so many precedents have been set through executive orders throughout the past 8 to 10 years. Like, I don't want to like be that guy who's like, oh, you can't do executive orders ever, like some libertarians are. But I mean, it's something to note that some people do vote, or many people do kind of see the president that way now. It's super. I think it's problematic because I feel like people don't really understand or even want to admit that there's a checks and balances system. But yeah,
certainly
I don't know.
Being chipped away at. I'd say that more so than the power that a president could wield over the economy, the real appeal of voting for someone is because they are now seen as the representative of their given party. They are the figure that is going to be able to rally people around them, bring in the most support. When people think of the party, that's who they're going to think of.
Yeah.
And that legacy lives on. I mean, obviously, we saw a lot of past presidents at the DNC convention. So that sticks with you, and it goes beyond even your term. Executive orders are interesting because I mean, yeah, there's a precedent set, but they're not really a great way to make a law. That's why
they aren't, because it can be overturned if the opposing party comes to power.
Yeah, so I think that's kind of almost a built-in excuse for why they continue, because well shit, the last party who has them, as an available option is going to wreak havoc, and then we're not actually going to be able to effectively counter them. It's not a very logical way of thinking. I understand that's very reactionary, But
Yeah.
I can see why they stick around. They honestly should have been reeled in from the beginning.
Mhm.
But that's why, people will say, oh, well, the Republicans are doing all of these executive orders. Why can't we do an executive order to legalize pot, just nationwide? Well, because it would get overturned in 4 years.
Yeah, right.
It wouldn't, you need to do these, and it's very tempting. It's very tempting to just go for it. But I think that you can really affect your reputation and the reputation of your party if you go too far. And we'll see. November is going to be really interesting because Trump could potentially be the first one-term president in a long time. And I would not be at all surprised because people are fucking over it. People are.
Oh no, I know, I know, I am. And look, like, personally, I liked the tax reform that Trump passed, but I know, and then I know voting for Biden, like we're probably going to lose that. And we're probably going to, and then there are other things down the pipeline that that I know that we're going, like, I know that there are going to be costs for voting for Biden, right? But I know the costs for voting for Biden, and I know that, I know at least Biden at least represents, he represents such a huge tent, and he represents, he knows how to pull people together, at least, or at
Yes.
least his team does, and that's something I can stand behind for now. What I'm worried about is a lot of people are just going to, a lot of these people are just going to become sycophants for Biden and then just advocate for everything that he does without giving him any sort of helpful criticism or really anything at all. And I don't know. It's, but I'm still voting for Biden though, because regardless of the costs that I know are going to happen, and then things that I know that are against my, what I want. Like, yeah, I'm probably going to be paying a lot more in taxes, but I'd rather have that than a unstable president at the helm that can't even decide what policy he wants to enact, or even have like a straight sort of story as to what he wants to do, and like I'm trying to explain this to family members, and like they're like, oh, you got to think of the tax cuts. So it's like, okay, obviously, like I like the tax reform, but obviously you have to weigh pros and cons here, and there are so many more cons that Trump has in my mind. And just if you're looking at the role of president, like I don't think Trump has many of those presidential qualities. And honestly, I feel like his foreign policy has been pretty bad.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's relevant to what we speak about for sure, and it stands out as a glaring problem. There's plenty to criticize for Biden, and I'm all for.
Yeah,
hey,
I'm concerned.
I'll take the Dave Rubin approach. I'm going to hold Biden's feet to the fire for 4 years.
Well, no, I support the tax cuts, though. That's the thing, is like I'm with you there, John, on that. Is that I think the fact that the economy isn't crashing as bad as it could because of this is partly because at least Trump has had somewhat of an angle to this, in the last few years, especially in the run up to this, where there was more of a pro market, lower tax sort of policy. Whereas in Canada, for example, even though we have fewer deaths and everything from COVID, even per capita, our economy is like totally screwed. I mean, the Trudeau government has run up a massive deficit. I can get the exact numbers on it, but it's completely disproportionate because in the United States, I think I don't know. Maybe you guys will know offhand what the total cost of the stimulus as a result of COVID is, but isn't it only like $1 or $2 trillion altogether that's been put out by Trump?
I don't know exact numbers, but I feel like it's higher than that.
Okay, because I'm going to look it up because the total Canadian cost when I checked before, it was in the hundreds of billions of dollars, which were about
Yeah.
1/10 the economy of the United States, less than 1/10 the economy of the U.S. I'll see what the U.S. COVID relief cost was because these are
Yeah.
going to be bills that are going to last for generations unless they're paid off at some point. Yeah, so the total cost altogether has come to more than $2 trillion in the U.S. is what I'm looking at here,
Okay.
but that's from a couple months ago is the problem. I know the U.S. has put out some new stuff, but
Trump had the executive order to give everybody $400 extra for
Yeah.
unemployment.
so it looks like $3 trillion is the total because if you include that in, and that's as of July. But in Canada, the total, and we're dealing with less than 10% the U.S. economy total. What was it? COVID relief and cost altogether. It's a bit harder to get information on, but I know it was like it's huge. It's the sort of thing that just if you've got a government in power that doesn't care about the cost, that can even more than just the cost itself, that can cause economic panic. Whereas I think, it is a credit to the Trump administration that the economy hasn't gotten even worse because it could have been a lot worse. Now, the counter argument is if Hillary Clinton was in charge, my view is that COVID wouldn't have gotten as bad in America as it is now.
Yes.
And fewer people would have died. So it wouldn't have been as surprising that the economy was doing okay because it wouldn't have been as big of a crisis. But
so my view on the COVID thing is obviously Trump stands at the head of it, and he takes a big brunt of the responsibility because of downplaying it and whatever. But I feel like if you look a little bit more into it, it was really a failure at all levels of government.
I agree.
Like at the time, people were focusing more on the fact that Congress didn't take more action at the time and focused on the impeachment of Donald Trump in like early March instead of fucking getting together and saying, hey, we have these cases and we got to do something about it. They kept it was just business as usual from Congress. And at local levels, all the governors were saying, oh, COVID can't affect us. We can't be affected by COVID. And what do you know? We're here right now. I mean, thankfully, my state of Maryland Hogan's been doing a really good job at doing this balance between keeping people inside, but also like trying to open up our economy and trying to limit the amount of cases and do, doing contact tracing and trying to keep hospitalizations down. He's been doing a great job throughout this entire process. Now, I mean, there are some criticisms that could be brought towards him, but I think Hogan's been doing very well in this regard. But there are other states like Texas and Arizona, even California, they're still shut down. And because they just can't, for some reason, they can't get their heads together. But I mean, even with the states, though, the whole thing with Trump being in office is that he has been a uniting force in COVID, and states have sort of had to compete with each other in order to, try to get through this pandemic. And that's where Trump really has dropped the ball. Like, honestly, I feel like if Trump really wanted to remain in office in November, all he had to do was say, hey, wear a mask and take COVID seriously and, actually work with the governors to get supplies to their state instead of just making every single little thing like a political battle where it's just like, oh, you got to own the libs and support the governors of red states, like, and then of course the left, the blue states would just report back to Trump, and then they're doing things that are politically opposite of Trump because, oh, we don't like Trump, so we're going to do this thing. It's just it's so incredibly reactionary, and there's no attempt to unite to unite the country at all. And I would blame, it's definitely all levels of government that are responsible for the COVID. I mean, the fact that COVID has gotten so bad, gotten so bad in terms of our handling of it. But Trump is sort of at the center of that. And as a president, you're responsible for the protection of your people, but you're also responsible for uniting your people in times of crisis. And as you may know, Trump has not been doing that very well. Well, maybe within the past couple of weeks, he's been better.
I just want to address a quick comment in the chat, which is from Nicholas. I talked about this earlier on in the stream. What's with the ratio on this vid? Before I even went live, we had 7 or 8 dislikes. Now we're up to 9 dislikes. Oh, we lost John. Hopefully, John.
Bring in all your stock accounts and give us likes so that we can. So at least we can balance it, as all things should be.
I'm pretty sure it's Mills Row and his socks. Like it's just weird. I mean, we don't usually have it happen where before I even go live, I've got like 7 or 8 dislikes, but we're at 9 dislikes right now. We're a bit too ghoulish for the people to handle. But I did want to ask you guys, John and Heimsker here. I want to ask you guys your views on the Lincoln Project currently, because I was pretty supportive of it in the beginning, but I found some of their stuff kind of, I don't know. Cringe. It's kind of cringe. It's a little bit cringe, bro. And
look, I honestly, Reese, you can go first if you want.
I don't have much to say, but I'll generally agree with them. Sometimes the rhetoric does go a bit far. I know the specific one you were talking about, Kevin. And I don't agree.
The Mean Girls thing.
I don't agree with the idea that just calling Trump a dictator is. I get that it kind of communicates an effective message, but it's inaccurate. So,
because these are people. Some of them are actual neocons that support the group and everything. And then you're calling Trump a dictator. Like, it's just, there are real dictators out there right now. Like Kim, his family has killed upwards of 8 million people since 1948. Like, it's just, it's so cringe. Like, obviously I'm really critical of Trump, but like, he was elected. Let's just be real about it. Like, there's no information indicating that the Russians changed votes. We know that they hacked 30 voter registries of like 30 states before, but they didn't change any votes during the election. I haven't seen any information. Now, Putin admitted that he supported Trump. Obviously, they hyped up Trump. They crapped on Clinton in the media and the memes online and everything. But he was still elected. That's the thing. Like, you can't really call him a dictator. So,
well, yeah, on that, I mean, they'll spend decades investigating and looking into all of the accounts of people associated with the Trump campaign, speaking with Russian oligarchs or people associated with the Kremlin. And I'm sure someday someone will make an amazing documentary about it. But it's not the same. I mean, even that's kind of a gray area in terms of a legitimate presidency or not. At the end of the day, that the vote went down the way it did, and And look, if you wanted to say, it would be pretty easy to fix the cringe. If you wanted to say that Trump was a wannabe dictator or had dictatorial tendencies or felt at home with dictators, I would generally agree with all of those things.
Oh yeah,
Right.
no,
right.
I say he never met a dictator he didn't fall in love with the exception of the Ayatollah, because he hasn't had a summit with him yet. If he ever does,
he wants to turn on media that just praises him all day, is never critical of him, and that is very clearly, the kind of character type he has. He's
of
not
a dictator, yeah.
yeah.
Even though he isn't a dictator, he doesn't rule.
He would, he would love to be, though, and it's a good thing that we have the system we do, where he even with all the envelope pushing with the executive orders, he really can't function as a dictator.
No, because of the checks and balances that we still have.
But I'm sure he's gonna continue to try to find a way to push the election back, so he has a little bit more time in office.
well, he can't push it back past January, though. No matter what, there will be changeover on January 20th. So
he'll do a new executive order. Somebody said, I don't remember who, but somebody said, "Oh man, after watching the DNC convention, Trump should find a way to get out of the debates." And I was just thinking, well, he's already trying to get out of the election, so I think he's one step ahead of you.
If I was Trump, if I was managing Trump's campaign right now, you all know what I would say to him. I would say, well, you can go and give a speech like live from the Oval Office and say that unfortunately we'll have to delay the election until August of 2045 because the administration school computer is down currently.
Balanced as all things should be.
Yeah, that's their sphere of influence.
Trump doesn't even use a computer. He uses a fax machine. His school fax machine doesn't work.
Donald Trump Jr. is going to be like, "Oh, so I get to be in charge, right? Next, pops, next," and then he's going to be like, "No, Ivanka."
Yeah, Ivanka. Oh man,
my girlfriend. I mean, daughter.
Oh
man.
Look, Ivanka gives better blowies than Don Jr. So
no,
that's how we're judging this contest.
I think that I wasn't just referring to that one tweet by the Lincoln Project though. Like they had the one where it was Trump's face overlaid on like one of the scenes from Mean Girls where he's like, crossing out people and stuff. I don't know. I think that some of their tweets and stuff, they've got like $20 million plus. I just think that they could probably come up with something better, but I don't know.
Honestly, I feel like you might want to like have a conversation with some of the people who are actually working for the Lincoln Project right now. Not with like the people who are at like the top, but I've seen some accounts of like some college kids who have internships with the Lincoln Project, and they're like social media editors and like kind of take care. Those people kind of take care of the social media accounts. I feel like you should talk to them because they have lower follower counts, and they, I guess they're sort of like the peons that may have more involvement to the day-to-day tweets than like people like.
No, I gotcha. I'm in the process. Actually, I have my own school computer issue over here on this side, which is that obviously my laptop and everything has been down with the RAM and everything lately. I went into the computer store today because I was going to actually get a refurbished laptop. It turned out they were sold out of the one that was advertised on their site. They ran out a few days ago. But the guy did say, he's like, well, I could take a look at your laptop, see if there's anything wrong with it, because he was thinking that it should actually be able to handle OBS and stream even with 8 gigs of RAM. But
that's what I would think.
Yeah, but apparently not. But there might be an issue apart from that with the computer. But he said, if that doesn't work, then he can basically just build like a refurbished one to the specs that I need, so for a lot cheaper. So I'd be down for that, but it'll
Yeah.
still probably be a couple weeks before I can do like my face interviews and stuff like I used to do before. So then I can start reaching out to people again and do stuff like Hawk Talk and everything. But I'd be interested in talking with these people. My guess is they probably wouldn't come on a show with like 350 subs. But if you're watching, be sure to sub to this channel so we can get the profile up. So,
Yeah, I'm sure the people with like, if you get like someone who's interning at the Lincoln Project who has like 300 followers, I wouldn't hesitate that they wouldn't come on for an interview because they just have a small following.
Yeah, no, that's true.
So-
That's true. And like Crystal's show did follow me on Twitter recently, so that was kind of cool. So
Most people, when given a chance to talk about themselves, will absolutely take it.
Yeah,
That's kind of the rule.
Oh man.
yeah, no matter what their following is.
Yeah, it's a small world. You'd be surprised at the kind of people that you can get the attention of. Sometimes I've even been shocked.
Oh yeah, with Ali, you had that Ali Stuckley. You had that public argument with, right?
Not exactly who I was thinking of, but yeah, I did get her attention, and then she promptly blocked me. But I'm still blocked to this day. Because and we didn't even really have an interaction. She found the video I made about her, in which I called her a bimbo. Kind of mean on my part. I'm very sorry. Not really. And then she tweeted out the video. So I'm already getting like free advertising. She tweets out the video and she's like, "Oh, this is disgusting," and then blocked me.
Oh wow. There's a poll up right now asking who should be the new president of Neocon Twitter. It has 80 votes right now as of an hour ago. And it's Dylan Burns or me. And who do you all think is winning right now?
Probably Dylan Burns.
Yeah, Dylan Burns. That is. We'll bring this up. This is pretty weak. I'll bring this up.
Stupid shit.
Like, I know that this is basically just like
I don't even know who that. I mean, I've seen his name around. I don't know who the fuck he is.
He isn't a neocon. He's anti-war. He's a Gravel guy.
I mean, if it's just a bunch of sock dem accounts voting for it, then like,
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter.
This is the post. Like, Global Affairs Anthony put it out as a meme, I guess. But
You absolute edgelord.
oh man.
Whatever.
Well, you know what this is a reference to, I guess, is because Richard Smith wanted a revote over who the king of Neocon Twitter was because he has more followers than me now. Because
don't hate on Richard. He just wants to write Tumblr fanfics about how he wants to drink Nikki Haley's milk, dog.
milk.
Y'all.
He doesn't just obsess over Haley though. He's also like really
He wants to
into
spit for
Haley's
feet,
daughter.
dog. Women deserve to be worshipped, dog.
Well, is he wrong?
Well, he was talking about dogs too earlier. No. He was talking about dogs too earlier. I'll see if I can bring up the tweet because he was talking about he was talking about the sexual tension between Nikki Haley and her dog. Like this dude. No, dude.
No. This is like Sonic the Hedgehog fandom horseshit over here. Like,
Oh no, here he is. He says Steve Bannon. Oh man, these memes, this guy, like the fact that this guy isn't a parody, this is hilarious. He tweeted out 12 hours ago. Steve Bannon, and we can talk about Steve Bannon. He was arrested today. Steve Bannon is a Nikki Haley hater. I am fine with him getting arrested. He's a Nikki Haley hater. It's
how he judges all political situations, clearly.
That
person
is
like
what? Okay, so So here he is trying to rationalize the Melt comment again. He says, quote, neolibs think Nikki Haley has sexual tensions with her dog, which, by the way, this is a reference to him even earlier on talking about that. And yet they call me weird for wanting to drink Nikki Haley's milk. Yeah. Like dude, we're definitely like, the thing is, Richard, I know a couple people asked me, they messaged me, they're like, wait, you and Richard aren't getting along anymore? It's like, Richard was always a freaking meme. He would say things like, no, I support Trump because Nikki Haley said, or he would also call Trump his favorite neocon president ever, which is a total joke.
If Nikki Haley ever finds about this corner of the internet and she decides, oh my god, dude, I don't want to deal with these fucking idiots. I don't even like blame her.
No, dude, she follows him, dude.
She follows him, but like, I mean, as soon as she sees his tweets of like sucking your milk or whatever, she's probably gonna be like, "What the?
Hey man, maybe she's into that.
Maybe she's into that. Maybe she's into that. Like, why are you a Nikki Haley hater? Why are you a Nikki Haley? Why are you a Nikki Haley's dog hater? Oh, dude, they're okay. There's so many memes right now.
When Nikki Haley needs to, get pushed over the edge, she visits Richard Smith's Twitter.
So what you're saying is that Richard wants to see a porno of Nikki Haley fucking her dog.
Oh my god! Look at this comment.
He would pay big money for that, for sure. I mean, it's just the thing is, it's like, again, he runs a page over on Facebook called Nikki Haley is a Wonderful Person, which, by the way, that sounds like something that I would make to like make fun of him always calling everybody a Nikki Haley hater.
Haley.
And
wonderful person.
A wonderful, but like, that's the meme, because he'll tweet that up multiple times per day, because like here he is. He's like, Ian Stevens' immigration policies are better than Kevin's. Nikki Haley's parents wouldn't have been allowed to come to America under Kevin's immigration policies. That's again, everything. Like, people have a meme about how I make everything come back to Syria. Like, I can tie in Syria to like anything about how like Assad needs to get bombed. But this guy takes it a step up. He makes literally everything in the universe. I mean, if you have electrons changing orbitals around an atom of a dust particle in the M83 galaxy, that Nikki Haley, man. Why do you hate Nikki Haley?
Dude, I'm at a crisis right now because I'm trying to decide which fetish is more weird: the Sonic the Hedgehog furry fetish or fetish over Nikki Haley's breast milk.
Oh, it's the Nikki Haley thing. There's no way. Well, actually, oh crap! I'm not.
Yeah, isn't that a hard thing to decide? There, which fetish is weirder?
What does Heimsker have to say about it?
Are you denying the hotness of Dr. Robotnik?
No. Oh my god,
dude, he's fucking dog.
Dr. Robotnik is a Chad. Let's make it clear tonight.
With a big brain IQ and big booty.
With a galaxy brain.
Like I'm just looking through Richard Smith's tweets right now. Quote: Trump is the most pro-Israeli president ever. Biden will be the most anti-Israeli president ever.
Yep, bullshit.
So Biden will support Assad, Hamas, and the Ayatollahs over Israel. I mean,
that's what Fox News is saying right now. So I mean,
he tweeted out, like, look at this. This is one of the dumbest, most childish, petulant sort of things that I've seen. I'm gonna bring this up on the screen right now. By the way, if you guys ever want a big lol, if you guys are ever bored and you just want a lolcow, go over to @NikkiHaleyFan. He used to be @DutchHaleyFan, but that one got blocked for sexual harassment.
It's not false reporting, I don't think.
But he did manage to get her to follow him on this account too. I'm going to bring up some of these tweets. The first tweet here is just it's hilarious. These are a gold mine. I mean, every day from him, it's like you wake up and it's like Nikki Haley is a wonderful person, or like Nikki Haley's daughter is beautiful, and all this stuff. So like here he is right here, Steve. Like he follows her on Instagram and like will post pics from like her daughter's Instagram, wishing her daughter a happy birthday and stuff. And it's like, how do you know this shit? Like, okay, but like, okay.
Yeah.
So here he is. Steve Bannon is a Nikki Haley hater. I am fine with him being arrested. Here's Richard Smith. Here's another one.
I just had like a crazy. Oh my god. Yeah, sorry.
Here's the dog one. Neolibs, like, and we'll get to the dog one because he started the dog thing too. So like you notice he's got like the helicopter emoji. He's got like the Vatican emoji. He's got like Israel.
He just wanted another reason to talk about the milk drinking.
The milk drinking. This is it right here. Neolibs. He's trying to court the Neolibs right now. But then we're gonna get like. There's another one here. This one is amazing. This one is so goofy. I'm going to take the comment off so that we can read it. If Kevin Castley and Even Stevens will ever debate each other, then I will be rooting for Ian. At least he still follows me and doesn't make ridiculous, quote, not following more than 100 people, unquote, rules. It's not following more than 99 people. Watch the video. You can find it on my channel, my dude. And also, I'm following less than 99 people right now, and I'm still not following you. So that's irrelevant. So then
who cares?
And he's like, who cares? And then Darth Sarah comes in and says, Ho's just mad because they ain't us. Why, they hate us because they ain't us. So, I like that film. I like the interview still. That film is great. That triggered Kim so bad. So
he'll be rooting for Ian, just because
I have a great idea, and it may be an awful idea, but if somehow, oh fuck, that was kind of cringe. I'm sorry, that post is kind of cringe.
Like
you guys as the Digimon characters, holy shit.
So my only question about this right now, in case this guy's watching. Is that supposed to be Richard Smith's profile picture there of Nikki Haley, or is that actually Nikki Haley in the game?
It's probably Richard Smith.
Probably Richard Smith. So
why do I have to stand by him?
Oh man, I mean, I'm thinking that if the drama channels ever got a hold of Richard Smith, like holy shit, that shit would blow up immediately.
Like one of my favorite memes that he ever put out or his posts was I love all neoconservative presidents, and it's like a picture of George H.W. Bush smiling, and it's a picture of Ronald Reagan smiling, and it's a picture of George W. Bush smiling, and then it's a picture of Donald Trump with like this evil kind of smirk, and you're like, what the fuck is Donald Trump doing there, dude? Like what?
Yeah, right.
Like there's a reason why like no neocons are going to be voting. Like nobody's supporting him. Like,
dude, like Bolton, who's not even a neocon.
He's not even a neocon.
Is not even supporting Trump.
No, he's more conservative than your typical neocon. And
I know.
And he's refusing to vote for the Republican leader. Like, he won't endorse Biden, but it doesn't matter. That's a scathing indictment of Trump. It's like, it's obvious the implication of what he's saying. So, it's like,
yeah, I still respect him. Seems like a good lad.
Yeah, no, I like Bolton a lot. He's one of my favorite ghouls out there. He's based and
my favorite ghouls. I like finally someone asking all the right questions. Why is Reese the short one? You stumbled onto my secret. I'm actually a midget. I'm having to stand on my chair right now just to get up to the computer.
Oh man, well yeah. So the other thing about Reese is I don't know if you guys know this, but like Reese is bald, and like I have big ears, and big ears.
These are facts.
Yeah.
I wish I
you
could
have
say
hair though. But you have hair in there.
I wish I could say I have a huge ass, but
I don't know.
My ass is getting smaller as I lose weight. So
I don't know why you want a big ass.
I know, but I mean, you have the big ears. Reese is bald. I have a big ass. You know, we all have our idiosyncrasies here.
Which one of the Hawks has a wet ass pussy? Is my only question.
So so Richard deleted the dog tweets that he deleted. Oh no, he didn't. They just were listed under not safe for work or whatever. So I had to. No, they're here. No, dude, they're here. They're actually here. No, dude, they're actually here, dude. I'm gonna bring this up on the screen. It's like a 6 or 7 line thread. This is gold, dude. This is gold. This is gold. This is hilarious. This is like Mills Roll tier locale.
You did a thread about sexual tension with a dog.
With no, with Nikki Haley's dog. What are you, a Nikki Haley hater? It's not just dog. It's Nikki.
I left out Nikki Haley from that. I must be a hater.
Dude, Reese, you're a Nikki Haley hater. Nikki Haley is a wonderful person. I like what Arthur tweeted out, or what he messaged in the chat about an hour ago, which was Ian Stevens is a wonderful person. I like that. That one was funny.
Yeah.
We are going to take a look, just watching this account, watching Richard's account interact with obvious trolls, but knowing that Richard's not ironic.
Oh yeah,
take it serious.
That's total gold right there.
Without the hint of irony, like this dog stuff. Like honestly, I feel like you could get him to admit anything if you just made a sock and said I'm a Nikki Haley fan. Nikki Haley is a wonderful person. And you could get him to tweet out some weird stuff. So we're gonna take a look at the thread right here. This is amazing. This is kind of incredible. I've got so many memes now. I got to delete a few to make space because Streamlabs or StreamYard caps me at 100 images that I can have on the go. So, but I've got to keep my rare Boltons and stuff. But here's the one right here. So this is this Lemmy guy who's an obvious troll. Globe Twitter. He says the sexual tension between a WW and her dog or whatever, and then Richard says, and mind you, I didn't see this initially because it was marked as offensive, but Richard says, you think Nikki Haley has sexual tensions with her dog too? And then Lemmy, and this is why it's so funny watching this account, because we know that Lemmy, we lost Reese just for a second. There he is. There's Reese. So we know that this Lemmy guy is a troll. But we also know that Richard Smith is 100% not a troll and genuinely a real dude who's 27 and obsessed with Nikki Haley. He said he's 27 before, and then
unbelievable.
And then the troll account. I love unironic crazy accounts interacting with troll accounts. You always get gold because they can't handle it. They can't have a hint of irony. And then Lemmy responds with, probably. But since she's a Catholic, she probably has a female dog too, to avoid the temptation. And then in the second frame of this, because this thread goes on, this isn't it. But she has a male dog because, of course, Richard did that. And then,
Evan, you need to save archives of all of his golden tweets. Please.
He brought up Nikki Haley. So the first tweet, this guy said WW, which means white woman, which Nikki Haley's not a white woman.
She's not white,
but he brings her up anyway. And he's like, look, he's getting in an argument at the bottom. No, it is not.
No, but he responded. I know you only see the hour steps, but I was actually watching this basically unfold in real time. He responded right away, but she has a male dog. He didn't I'm sure he didn't have to Google it or whatever. He knew. And then Lemmy's again, obvious trolls.
He knew. You shouldn't know these things. That's creepy.
But he's stalking your daughter on Instagram. No. So okay. So we'll go back from the start. We'll go back from the start for those who, might have missed it. The sexual tensions between a white woman and her dog, and then Richard's like he can't tell. This account has been around for so long. This Lemmy dude, and Richard knows that account is that account's an obvious troll, and then Richard feeds the troll and says, "You think Nikki Haley has sexual tensions with her dog too?" And then he's like, "Well, probably, but since she's a Catholic, she probably has a female dog to avoid the temptation. So that's logical. That makes sense and everything." And then immediately,
That's
Richard
logical.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's like the lead on to like a joke, though.
and then Richard quips back with, "But she has a male dog." And then Lemmy. And then Lemmy says, "Uh-oh," and then Richard, again without a hint of irony, writes, "Do you now think she had sexual tensions with her dog?" Like this is just like what is this? This is like detective cringe. And then we got Lemmy. And then it reminds me of like one of those To Catch a Predator's sections where like Chris Hansen will like bring up the chat. Like I remember Catboy, for example, and like there was one time where this guy shows up at a house that he thinks a 12-year-old girl's at, and he's naked there sitting on the chair, and then the To Catch a Predator crew come in, and Chris Hansen's like, "Dude, like normally I wait a minute, but like come on, like put a towel on, dude." And then they sit down, and he's like, "I have the transcripts." And he's like, "So you mentioned, like, you say, like, you're 12." And then she says, "Yes." And he's like, "That's hot. I like 12-year-olds." And then she's like, "Yes." And then it's like, and then he says, and then he's like, "Do you have a cat?" And she's like, "I do have a cat." And he's like, "Can we do sexual things with the cat?" And it just goes on, and you're like, it's just this very matter of fact, almost like bot like approach. Like this was from like 2006, so obviously this guy's not too bright as well. But you're like, just reading these transcripts here from Twitter, it's like watching this shit where it's like, do you now think she has sexual tensions with her dog? Like what? Like that's just an awkward, clunky phrasing. And then he says, Lemmy says, "Given the pervasiveness of the phenomenon, it is very likely." And then, of course, Richard, always the simp, says, "No, it is not."
Exclamation point.
Explanation
He
point.
was very wound up.
That's where it ended there. That was the end of the thread.
Lemmy, you should have continued it. It could have gone on for a few more hours.
What I don't get is like, how does this guy who's like Globe Twitter affiliated not understand that this Lemmy dude is obviously a troll? Like I've seen this Lemmy dude. This Lemmy dude has never had a serious take ever. Like this guy is obviously in this for the lulz. Like, and we had the lulz. We obviously had the lulz. Like I'm not too much a fan of Globe Twitter or Lemmy, but I will say this: thank you for the lulz, Lemmy. You did your part. So But she has a male dog. But she has a male dog. See, like even that's a meme now. Like everything's gonna be a freaking meme. Like because here's the thing. Like there was somebody on Twitter the other day who was talking about they were obviously furious that Kamala Harris was chosen as the vice presidential nominee by Joe Biden, and she was like, "No, she's a ghoul." And people were like, "Wait, so she's a neocon ghoul now or whatever?" Because like just the ghoul, like they say like, "Oh, these ghouls." Whenever the far left calls people like that a ghoul, it's a meme. So I think of the ghouls now, the neocon ghouls, as the new deplorables. Like it's not an insult. So
it's also what they said about the Knights of Ren, sir. They were technically, I remember this, I can't even get out of the voice. That reminded me of a conversation I had with a friend of mine after we had both individually seen Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. By the way, don't see it. It's a fucking horrible movie.
I had this. I unfortunately saw it twice.
You poor soul.
I know, right?
But my friend was like a much bigger Star Wars nerd than me, and I was trying to get him to explain the Sith cult to me and just the logic behind it and what the Knights of Ren were, and I totally missed that part.
And I was like, what are these? What are these guys? And he's like, oh, they're like ghouls. They're like ghouls. What does that even mean? That's what they say in the movie. They're ghouls.
They're ghouls.
I
Well,
should
every
find-
time I hear ghoul now,
I should
like I
find
know
that clip.
people like I saw Sarah tweeting like because Sarah works at a craft store and she had like the Halloween stuff already set up in the store that she works in. And she posted a picture on Twitter of like, the displays with like, ghouls and goblins and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, oh, look, it looks just like the Trump or the Bush administration, like hashtag neocon ghouls, right? So it's always Halloween when, the ghoul gang arrived. So,
Well, Halloween's the best holiday, don't you know?
Yes.
that's all. No, it's
Finally, someone's
like all
speaking
these
the
people
truth.
who call
It's a
Dick
tie- it's a
Cheney.
tie
Dick
between-
Cheney's a ghoul.
It's a tie between Halloween and Christmas, honestly.
Those are the only real holidays.
Yeah, no.
The rest don't count.
I count Hanukkah. It's because I'm a Jew. But
You Jew.
Easter's fun too because you always have like some dopey looking Easter bunny mascot standing next to Trump as he's giving some speech to like 5-year-old kids about like taxes and stuff. So that's fun. So
I love
Oh,
I
yeah.
love this account, Kevin Craftsley.
yeah, that's
I
love
know,
Craft
right?
ears
Uh,
like with my
hap-
ears.
Happy birthday to H.P. Lovecraft, by the way. That got mentioned earlier. That's true.
Oh, he's outghouling us. He says at Superpower Broadcasting, July 4th is the best holiday. Called out.
Ooh, Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit.
But
Shit.
actually, you forgot the most patriotic holiday of all, sir.
Veterans Day.
Memorial Day.
Memorial Day.
Memorial
Noob.
Day.
No, we got
Noob.
told. Dude, we got told, dude.
Dude,
got
rip panel.
The comment, the chat's funny sometimes.
No, dude. Oh man. So
the things
like,
they'll latch
Twitter-
on to.
Twitter is a total gold mine. I just like this Richard guy. I know that some people are surprised that like we've got beef now and everything. Like me and
If
Richard.
if the drama channels have like a tip line, I'm definitely considering like showing this person account
H3
to one of the
H3
drama
have a
channels.
field day, dude, with Richard Smith. Just like like H3. Who else is there? Oh, Philip DeFranco.
Oh,
who
Well, I
no.
wouldn't go that big. I would look for like there's this smaller streamer. His name is like Augie RFC. He's like a drama streamer, but like he has like 20,000 subs. And
Oh, Chris
but he's, like-
Hansen. No, dude, we could
Oh.
do literally Chris Hansen. He's like, I have the transcripts, Richard.
You could pay Chris Hansen to say anything.
You can pay him. No, guys, I have 100% proof that I am about to 100% present to you all, backing up Heimsker's claim right here. He is not pulling this out of his ass. He is 100% right about this. Now, how am I going to prove to you all that you can pay Chris Hansen? Chris Hansen, this of course, this huge journalist, 36 years, whatever, in journalism. You can't pay him $50 to say anything. He's a man of integrity. Even if you could, he's got too much money for that. No, you're wrong. Now, how am I going to prove? And I'm going to explain the process here because the process is a huge meme. So I am going to go to the Pablo Escobar Medellin Cartel's YouTube channel. I'm not making this up, by the way. You can do this too and verify this for yourself. They have a YouTube channel where they sell, they quote unquote sell, in other words, they scam phones. They right now are pimping, Escobar Inc. official, and it's all just European models that they pay to like pose with this phone that they don't ship to anybody. They have on their channel under videos. Oh, did they remove the endorsements? Oh, it looks like they removed the endorsements. They used to have 12 videos. Now looks like the endorsements are gone. So it looks like Chris Hansen must have asked them to get rid of his paid endorsement. Anyway, Chris Hansen, I'll see if I can find the clip. Chris Hansen did a 30-second ad for the Medellin cartel of Pablo Escobar, where he
What
talked.
the fuck?
No, dude. No, dude, because the cartel went on Cameo and Chris Hansen's on Cameo. And the brother of Pablo Escobar is running this scam right now, and he wanted Chris Hansen to pimp their phones, and so he offered Chris Hansen $50 to read off a bullshit transcript for a non-existent phone that they scam people money from, and Chris Hansen took it, and
Oh my
unironically,
fucking god!
no, dude, he's a huge beef, dude. There, Chris Hansen as well. Some kids paid Chris Hansen $50 to ask if the kids have been to Epstein's Island yet, because it's like an experience that they need to grow up. And this guy made his career as like I used to be a huge fan of Chris Hansen. He made his career busting these degenerate child predators that the cops were too lazy to go after. They would say, we don't really know how the internet works. We don't have money for this stuff. And so it was basically like Somalia. It was anarchy. These guys would go out there and like literally like abuse 12-year-old kids and just go from house to house. So he teamed up with, a volunteer group where they would make fake accounts and bait these guys to addresses. And the first season, or the first episode, the cops didn't even want any part in it. Then they eventually realized, these guys are doing our job for us. Maybe we should help them out. He busted a ton of predators, and now he's at a state where you can pay him $50 to ask if the kids have gotten a dose of Epstein's Island yet. Like this guy and the cartel. I'm just gonna see if I can find a mirror of the video. Pablo Escobar, Chris Hansen, because this guy is so sad. He's so sad. Okay.
It's so crazy how like Chris Hansen was like this journalist for like serious journalist for NBC for like a number of years. Like he cracked a number of cases, but like his YouTube career has been a total joke, man. Like,
here's him talking about if the kids have been into the Epstein pilot program. Yeah, like no, dude. I'm gonna download this. This is something. Oh, it looks like we lost Reese.
We did.
He might be back. I'm gonna download this. Okay, Reese is back. Reese is back. We got the Flash here tonight. We got the Flash.
Sorry,
here.
the chat asked me to flash them. So
my
joke took too long.
Not to be confused with the Fash. This is the Flash.
The Fash is obviously the Flash's greatest foe.
Yeah, well, the Flash is Ian Stevens. He needs his school computer so he can show for Erdogan some more, Daddy Erdogan. But
can Reese flash the audience? Yes, yes, I can.
Even Stevens won't be able to get a school computer during COVID, though.
Oh no! Well, he posted a picture. Actually, the other day, he posted a picture from his school, which I unironically just assumed was from his school computer lab, where he's looking out the window at and he's taking a picture of like some girls in like the schoolyard, and it's like raining, and I'm like, did you take you must have taken this? I'm like, and that's you taking this from the school computer lab, right? Even Ian Boy or whatever. That dude is such a creeper. That dude, like, another one of them. You can't even say he's a troll. He's unironically this creepy and goofy, and he's a clown ball. And I'm going to right now. Speaking of clown balls,
I can't wait to tell these ladies about my 2,000 followers.
Oh my God! Yeah, would you ladies like to hear about that time when Henry Kissinger was badass and like signed off on genocide in Timor? And
this is a question I ask on all first dates. But what's your opinion of Henry Kissinger?
Henry Kissinger. Oh my
shit.
God!
Do you have a computer I could borrow for my debate with Kevin Castley?
Oh my God! And that's a guy whose parents have.
I might need a better graphics card. I might need a gaming computer.
God, dude. No, hold on. Ian Stevens is the kind of guy to make a girl pay for dinner despite having rich parents. That's the kind of guy Ian Stevens is.
Ian
Okay,
Stevens
Jim.
told me that we would have to wait 3 weeks to do the debate until he got his school computer, and that tweet was sent from Twitter for iPhone. Just think about that. Just think about that. So this guy, obvious fraidy cat, and then once he realized that it wasn't going away, we were hounding him with the school computer memes. Reese is still school computer on Twitter, for example.
Actually, I changed it to neocon.
Oh man.
Neo computer.
Oh
as,
man.
as in Wrath of Khan. Neo.
Genghis Khan.
Oh,
And Genghis Khan was a neocon. That's why they called him Khan, because he was a neocon.
oh,
Genghis
I
Khan.
Oh, dude. Okay,
I said Nebuchadnezzar was a neocon.
yeah, no, he was he was
Of course
100%
you bring
a
up
neocon. He had a military, did he not? Okay, so
Yeah,
I
no,
am.
definitely did.
You know what? There's no way that Chris Hansen is getting away from this clip being out there on the internet forever, because one of the tech guys that I watched, Marcus Brownlee, he highlighted the clip of the cameo of Chris Hansen pimping out the Medellin cartel of Pablo Escobar and his brother, which, by the way, no, dude, this can't go away. This can't go away. So he managed to get the Pablo Escobar guys to delete the video, but I am right here showing you. I'm going to show you right now. I'm just trimming the video down so that we can all take a look. This clip is going to be from MKBHD, and he does good, honest tech reviews, whereas some of the other tech reviewers, they were bought off by the cartel for free phone to pimp it to people. This guy was like, no, we're not just going to recommend a phone because you send us this shit. It's like, so we're going to take a look. It's about 2 minutes. The actual endorsement itself is about 30 seconds, but I want to give you guys a taste of how cringy their product is, because they show the 5 phones that I presume are the only 5 phones that they ever actually made, where they're all signing in, and it's literally just a $2,000 Samsung flip phone, except it comes with pre-installed wallpaper of Pablo Escobar's mugshot. looking very mischievous, and they sell it to people for $400, and it's literally just
Market value.
but they don't ship the phone. They only send the phone to people who buy it that turn out to be tech reviewers. They only send the few of them. So the whole thing is a scam by the cartel, and I'm like, so it turns out that the cartel, they aren't actually sending the phones that they agreed to send. Who could have guessed? But in the meantime, while this loads, we're going to take a look at our friend Chris Hansen, asking if the kids have gotten a chance to take part in the Epstein Island or the pilot program.
Epstein Island.
This only costs $50, dude. This is gold. This only costs $50. So we're gonna take a look. I'm pretty sure this is the right clip, but if it's not, every Chris Hansen cameo is gold, because everybody knows now that he will say anything for the $50. So here we go.
Timothy, what am I to do with you? First of all, this very suspicious screen name, Flyboy, for you. What do you mean by Flyboy, Tim? Chris Hansen here of Hansen versus Predators, to catch a predator and have a seat with Chris Hansen. Now I'm going to need you, Tim, to have a seat right over there. That's right. Right in the front seat of that plane in which you're going to be training. Very cool, son. Congratulations. I hear you've gotten into the Epstein pilot program before even finishing high school. Tremendous. You know, it's interesting because I decided what I wanted to do for a living very early, in high school as a matter of fact, and pursued it. And I think it's worked out okay. I'm pretty sure you're going to be a great success as a pilot. I know so. In the meantime, stay home, stay healthy, stay safe. Let's social distance. Keep me posted on how everything goes. Your cousin Jake is very proud of you, as I'm sure the rest of the family. I'm proud of you too. So good luck with everything, and keep that plane in the air, son, until it's time to land, of course. All right. Remember, I'll be watching, and I'll see you soon on the TV and my YouTube channel. Congratulations, Tim.
$50, dude. Career, 30 years, integrity, busting predators. Now $50 on Cameo to the Pablo Escobar people. And no, dude, how the money have fallen. So the clip is loaded. Now, this is credit to MKBHD. You can all go and subscribe to his channel. You know, he actually does honest tech reviews. He doesn't just recommend shit because you know, like Unbox Therapy, where Unbox Therapy unironically shilled for the cartel because they sent them one of the phones, and he was like, oh man, this shit is so swag, dude, because they put a gold sticker on the back of a Samsung phone, and it was obvious that like this guy reviews this shit. He should know that that was just a Samsung phone with a gold sticker on the back. The thing that's great about Marquez is when he was watching the video or whatever, he actually just took a knife and peeled off the Escobar logo, and there's the Samsung logo underneath it. So like, this whole thing was a total scam. But we're about to see right here. I'll give you some context. It's not just the Hansen endorsement. It's MKBHD explaining a bit about how scummy their product line is, quote unquote product. And then we'll take a look at the celebrity endorsement from our friend Chris. So here we go.
There's an unboxing video that I'm pretty sure if I show more than about 3 more seconds of it, it's going to get this video demonetized. They have a video called RIPSamsung.com where they take a bunch of non-rebranded original Galaxy Folds out of the box and then put safety glasses on, but no other protective clothing, and then just start smashing Galaxy Folds with sledgehammers until they literally catch on fire. And if you look it up, if you go to RIPSamsung.com, which is in the title and this whole video's point, the Escobar guys bought that URL and they have a redirect to EscobarInc.com, which is crazy because this phone wouldn't exist without Samsung's phone. And then there's 2 other endorsement videos. So I guess this is really how you make sure you sell a lot of phones, from Chris Hansen and Anna Anka.
Hey guys, Chris Hansen here of Hansen vs. Predators, and to catch a predator, I just wanted to tell you all that I've seen this amazing new smartphone called the Escobar Fold 2. It appears to be the best phone out right now. I've been looking at the transcripts, so have a
Wow.
No, but
Wow.
here's the other thing. They didn't send the phones. They only sent a few phones to tech reviewers so that they would pimp it to their audience. They never sent a single phone to anybody that gave them the money. That money's gone. That's in Colombia now.
There's no way they sent a phone to Chris Hansen. They just paid him $50.
No. He was reading off. Like, the irony is, he's been looking at the transcripts, the one that they sent him to read off of the prompter. Like, and the thing is, I accidentally cut it off a little bit short. He does finish by saying that it's the best phone ever. You know, I hope you'll go out and enjoy it, and remember, I'll be watching. And like, he always uses these catchphrases. So like, you all know how like I have a ton of catchphrases, right? I got the Castley catchphrases. I've got, you know, fringe and cringe, bunk and junk. You know, I got like
Fumin' and Doomin'.
Fumin' and Doomin'. I called him bold, like Base Bolton. I got Tanky Tulsi. I got like all this shit. I always try to use them in context, but with Chris Hansen, he does have a few really good catch lines, good catchphrases, like I'll be watching, or I've been looking at the transcripts. But like, he'll use them anytime any cameo appears, and it'll often be out of context. So he's like, "This is it appears to be the best phone out there. I've been looking at the like what." What? Like,
the phone transcripts, Kevin.
The phone doesn't exist. They just like so. This is what's happened with Chris Hansen right now.
They exist. They're a Samsung phone with an Escobar sticker on the top.
Yeah, I will
And
actually.
that's why I need to pay $400 more.
Just to prove to you all that
sticker is legit.
That I'm not like fooling around with that. I will 100%. And by the way, did you guys all see how like they load up the 5 phones and it's all just Escobar, Pablo Escobar's grinning face, like because that's basically the same reaction that same smirk that Donald Trump had in the picture that Richard had, where he was calling him his favorite neocon president ever. It's like, dude.
I love that video of the bikini clad women destroying tablets.
Destroying tablets.
Like, it's literally a Samsung phone. Like, this whole thing, like it's literally that company's phone, and they're destroying it. And like, obviously they're paid too. And you're like, you watch the video. I watched the video for the advertisement that was made from the company, and it's like this guy with like the most deep kind of like Duke Nukem voice who's like, buy your smartphone. These hot models not included. And it's like, oh, you know what it reminded me of? Do you guys? Okay, this is another big old meme. Do you guys ever remember the whole Fire Festival debacle? Did you guys ever hear about that crap from like a couple years ago?
Was this like last year or something?
It was, yeah. It was Billy McFarland, and he scammed like thousands of people to go to this luxury exclusive concert.
Like,
on
he's successful, right?
Yeah, except it turned out that it was like in a rubbish dump outside of a Sandals hotel outside the main city, and there was no food, there was no tents, and there was no electricity, and there was also no music. And but they made these they got these models, like they got BB Hadid or whatever her name is. They got like some high profile. They got Kendall Jenner, and they had this like very deep voice, and they had him do the overcast for it, and he's like the narration. He's like, you know, some say the experience outweighs like what can be believed, and it's like, so I've come to the conclusion that like I have a deep voice, mind you, but the deeper the voice in an advertisement, the more likely it is that you're never going to see your money again. Like
there's a scientific formula to this. The deepness of the voice is directly proportional to the scam, the amount of money you will lose.
Like, I mean, okay, so we're gonna take a look here. This is literally
so that every single advertisement you ever put out should be voiced by Sheldon Cooper from
or Major Gabbard.
That would have integrity right there.
Pete Buttigieg. But no, so we got the clip right here. I'm not kidding. It's literally just a $2,000 Samsung phone that they were selling for $500 and then just not shipping them. So here we go.
Same phone with a gold sticker glued to it. No, actually, it's actually a Galaxy Fold with gold tinfoil adhesive to it. You take a bit of that gold off of the hinge on the back, and right underneath is that Samsung logo, right where it's supposed to be. And the gold foil comes off the back with a box cutter or a knife or really enough heat to melt the adhesive. So it's not pretty, but yeah, it is an actual Galaxy Fold, fully working, minus any of the stuff that normally comes in the box, and it's a really poor rebranding job. It's an actual Galaxy Fold. So from this point, if you're reviewing an Escobar Fold 2, you're really just reviewing a Samsung.
so
fucking busted.
Chris Hansen, shameless.
It's the we got him meme.
Dude, for
you know, we got him.
We got him.
We got him.
We got it. Yeah, no, dude, that's that's Bremer. I call him Base Bremer. He's a true ghoul. He gave that speech right after Saddam Hussein was captured in Baghdad. He gave that speech. And it was about, you know, there's this 40-second clip of it. I sometimes, you know, when I feel like shit and I just want him back, I watch that clip at 40 seconds, and it's just, you know, ladies and gentlemen, we got him. And it's about 40 seconds of applause. And some people think that was John McCain. No, that was Paul Bremer. He kind of sounds like John.
Yeah, definitely not John McCain.
Not John McCain. No, and some people thought that was in reference to Bin Laden. No, it's in reference to Saddam from you know, back in 2003, and they got him. And he's like, ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Well, here's
I could have sworn they said a similar thing for Bin Laden, though.
They did, yeah. No. I'm pretty sure Obama opened with like, "We got him." Like, yeah, that was a reference to Paul Bremer.
Plagiarism.
It's plagiarism, dude. And like Ben Rhodes, that like wrote like a bunch of Obama speeches. He's in love with the dictatorship of Iran. And if you don't believe me, check out his. So that dude is an ISO cuck. like a true ISO cuck. But so with Hansen here, if you go to the Escobar page now, it's just their adverts. The only thing is it's on their site. They got rid of the celebrity endorsement from Chris Hansen. I guess he must have gotten so much blowback over it that he begged them to take it down. He had to send back $50. But you know who's never going to take it down? Marquez Brownlee, because that dude's actually a millionaire. Now, Chris Hansen could have been a millionaire, except he went full in on the Liz debt. And we found out that, you know, he got arrested about a year and a half ago for bounce checks that he was owing about $1.3 million completely in debt. And you're like, dude, you've had 30 years as like basically almost like a top 1% salary. What the hell? You could have been like, imagine he bought like a $200,000 house and just got a short mortgage or pay cash or whatever. The dude would have like $10 million today and invested the rest. Instead, no, gotta have it now. So now he has to go to Cameo and shill for the cartel to pimp out their phone. And you're like, dude, like, and again, I'm gonna make a video on this, not because I just want to attack Chris Hansen. I like Chris Hansen. I think that Chris Hansen has done good work, but I think it exposes just.
Well, I think his YouTube career has definitely been a joke. Like no question.
He went from being a honestly a heroic champion of busting child predators when even the police were too lazy to do it, and raising awareness around that in the early days of the internet when it was basically anarchy, and he's become a big old meme. Like he's as big a meme as Richard Smith right now, and it's so sad. And so I want to do this video on Chris Hansen at some point in the near future. I want to go over a bit of his career. I want to give him credit where credit is due, and then I want to show how much of a meme he's become. And then in part 3 of the video, I'm going to be like, so this is why the debt economy is pure fucking cringe, because this guy was on top of the world making bank, and he's bankrupt. So it's not working. If it's not working for him, it's not working for you. So yeah, we need to do something to get out of this swag culture of, oh, I'm going to apply and qualify for the maximum thing possible. Because I tweet about this all the time, I see ads now like, I have a 450 credit score, but you won't believe it. I just qualified for a $65,000 truck loan. You can too. It's like, dude. But
I think honestly, actually this, funny enough, comes back to the tax reform, where there was a clause in the tax reform that Trump passed where it would prevent people from basically getting loans on houses that are above $750,000. Before the tax reform, you can get a loan on a house of like over $1 million. If you have like a good credit score. But the Trump tax returns actually lowered that, so that it's basically like an incremental change to discourage people from buying, getting things that obviously they're not going to be able to pay back.
I found the video just to give you a point of like this whole deep voice scam thing. Like this is such a meme. And like, by the way, imagine unironically being Chris Hansen right now, like over the last 6 months that this came out, because that Marquez video that I showed you guys clips of, that has almost 7 million views. So he can beg the Escobar channel, which has like a few 100,000 views, to take his video down. And his video there got like 50,000 views. But Brownlee's never taking that shit down. He didn't, like, if he was going to get bought off by somebody, he would have been bought off by the cartel. Is Chris Hansen, who's desperate for $50, going to get Brownlee to take down that video? No. So that is going to live out there on the internet forever. And of course, it's going to live out there on this channel forever. So Chris Hansen, like, I mean, it's so sad because with these sorts of situations, like with Richard, it's easy to dunk on them. With Tanky Tulsi, when they do goofy stuff, it's easy to dunk on them because they've always been goofy. They've always been scummy. But Chris Hansen was a good guy. And it's just sad. It's like you hate to see it, So
You hate to see it.
Yeah. If you're going to do a retrospective on Chris Hansen, I would recommend you look at Todd McKinley's video on Chris Hansen, because he's already done like a retrospective on him.
Oh,
So-
no, I appreciate it. It's just mine specifically going to be focused on like the dead aspect, to
Oh
kind of
no,
make
I know, but that might be good background for you, just to make sure that you're not repeating his video, because his video is like an hour long. Yeah, his video is like an hour long.
No, I appreciate it. I did watch Jimmy Snow's
Yeah, a bunch of the drama the drama channels have covered Chris Hansen as well, because of the whole Onision shit that's been going on, and like a bunch of other things too. So drama YouTube has been on Chris Hansen's ass for like the past 2 months.
We got another friend of the channel right here. We got Captain
Hawcom.
Captain Hawcom. No arrest in the Onision case. So I like how it's like, not only does he have the blue mask, he's also that's me. I've also got the bandit mask. Okay, so we're gonna take a look. Look, I can't play this whole video because, like Marquez, I don't have to worry about demonetization, but like this video might get flagged if I play the whole thing here. Not because the cartel is gonna find this and file. No, because it's blatantly like, if you got kids in the room, get the kids to leave right now. We're gonna play this video. So
kids shouldn't be watching this stream to be.
This is the official unboxing video by Escobar Inc. When you buy the Escobar Fold 2, you receive a slick box. Open the box to unveil your phone, along with a USB-C charging cable.
Okay, no, dude, you don't get anything. Now, they did send the box. The thing is, they didn't just send nothing. They did send everybody that ordered their videos of people opening them up. They did send average people a box. You would open it up, and it would have inside of it no phone, but there would be a book on the life story of Pablo Escobar and how he fought the police, and how much of a genius his brother, who just runs this company and just scammed you, was. And if you go to the site, and Marquez talks about this too, if you actually go to their site for the Escobar Phone Company, they list there that he is the former chief of assassinations, and he's bragging about that. Like, that's part of his credentials. It's like, CEO of Escobar. And
chief of assassinations.
Chief of assassinations. Like, that's kind of a meme. And like, here they are. They're like, no, dude. In case you're skeptical about these guys, this guy used to be the chief of assassinations, so he's the real deal. You can trust him with your phones. Like, you can trust him with your money. It's what?
I felt a little uncomfortable watching this scantily clad woman while the deep voice was commenting on a slick box.
Okay, Paul Joseph Watson. We don't need any of that, any of your anti-whammon garbage.
Okay, so I'm going to make a comparison right now to something which, like, I'm going to download this because this is the Fire Festival debacle. This was the stupid ad that they put out for this thing, and you'll notice, like, there's a 40% chance that it's literally the same voiceover guy. Like, and they're both scams.
I'm sure, yeah.
Like, what is it with the scams and like the ultra deep voice where it's like, because that went on for a minute. Yeah, that video that I played for you, that's about 90 seconds long, and he closes it by saying, sexy models not included. And you're like, okay, but like, you guys are like the cartel. Nothing's included except for some propaganda leaf.
It should have said phone not included.
No, yeah, phone. Yeah, it's like phone may or may not arrive.
Order the Escobar Fold not included.
Not included. No, see, there's so many memes, and I apologize. I cut you off there, Reese. There's a bit of a time delay. You were making the point that like kids shouldn't be watching this stream tonight, so. Yeah, that's
it's just fair advice. Really.
I mean, we often do.
I mean, if you're a parent and you have your kid staying up at like 5 o'clock in the morning. You're probably not a great parent.
They shouldn't watch mostly because of me, because I make horribly inappropriate comments. I make like 90% of them, so really, I'm just protecting the kids from myself at this point.
Yeah, I mean, you want to protect the kids. You want to get them away from Reese. You
Protect the children.
Yeah, what
Wait,
about the
but
children? You
I
can
thought
set
you were-
them up with that Epstein pilot program. That was
I can't believe he said that.
Well, dude, that's Chris Hansen. See, it's one thing if like we make a joke about that. Like, obviously, like we're against like child predators and everything, but like that's not our career. We're focused on. Well, I mean, Kim is a child predator. Don't get me wrong. They literally have rape squads in North Korea and stuff. But like that was his job. That was his career. That's what he made his name famous for. And he's shilling out for $50 on Cameo. And he'll read anything. And the thing is, he tried to make it as an excuse that, like, yeah, but like they send me what they want to read. And it's like, yeah, but you can accept or decline. That, like, he accepted that. But so we're going to take a look right here. I will, just to remind the audience, we'll play a few seconds of the voice from the Escobar one, and then we'll compare with the obvious scam of Fire Festival. So here we go.
This is the official unboxing video by Escobar Inc.
Okay, so that's the voice there, and now here's the voiceover. Like it's got to be the same dude. Okay, here we go.
The actual experience exceeds all expectations, and is something that's hard to put into words. All these things that may seem big and impossible.
Actually,
yeah,
no.
I hear the similarities.
Now that I think about it, that's probably a pre-recording. That must be a clip from something that must be public domain. Actually, that they probably didn't get a narrator for that. But it's that's the thing. Whenever there's a scam, they're always going to have models that specifically look like Siberian, and they're also going to have like a super deep male voiceover. Like, that's how you know you're never going to see your money again.
It's really about the experience.
The experience exceeds all expectations.
They're trying to relive like an 80s ad or something.
No, I know. It's such a cliche. It's such a cliche. Like,
but it's a fun cliche, is it not? I mean, it's sad, but it's like,
no, it's funny. Like, no, that's the thing. It's like, like it is funny. It is funny. Like, in that sense, you love to see it, but then you also hate to see it. So
dude, yeah,
dude. No, okay.
I never thought. I had no idea you were interested in that stuff. That's so funny.
No, Chris Hansen. No, dude. Here's the thing. I could do a long episode on him and not have any clips on the episodes because they could be taken down or whatever. Because I know a ton of like the stuff verbatim, essentially. Like, I used to watch, like, dude, Chris Hansen. I used to think he was based. I used to think he was like one of the sole few people out there in journalism that were, not total shills and stuff, and actually did good work, because I was sick of the whole, we'll just read whatever's on the teleprompter, or, oh, these guys say this, those guys say that. Like, he actually was a man of moral conviction
he was an investigative report. He was an investigative reporter worth touting home about. Today's investigative reporters are like such dog shit.
Yeah.
That like look at like Tim Pool or like Andy No, these are like the or anybody who works at RT, they all call themselves like investigative reporters, but they're all just dog shit. Like, compared to Chris Hansen's like prior work,
Speaking of big yikes, Millsrose here tonight. He says, under Reese's worldview, all children would be murdered.
That's very interesting from the guy who was spouting anti-natalist rhetoric.
Yes.
The guy who was describing, children as basically disgusting parasitic leeches.
It was pure cringe. And this is coming from a guy who used to unironically be an anti-natalist. And, I'm not anymore. But yeah, Mills Row, dude, this guy. I mean, oh my god, dude, there are so many memes out there. Like, what's with the idea of wasting all your time and energy to become a meme on the internet? Like, I know people say I'm a meme, haters say I'm a meme. These guys are objectively memes. Like, they don't even really have fans. Like Richard Smith doesn't have fans. Mills Row doesn't have fans. Nobody like follows them unironically. They're all just in it for the lolcow, like they're just in it for the lolcow.
But I mean, Richard Smith is serious though. I mean, like
No,
he's serious about wanting to stick his dick inside Nikki Haley.
No, I get that, but nobody follows him. Nobody follows him.
Yeah, no one follows him unironically.
Yeah, like nobody's like, I want to see what Richard has to say about Nikki Haley today. I should follow him. No, everybody follows him because he's a huge meme. And here he is saying how he's got more followers than me. One, I'm not following 2,000 people. I also told him that, dude, I'm not following 2,000 people. He's got slightly more followers, and he's following like 2,000 people. And he's like, your rule is stupid. What if I want to see what these people have to say? Yeah, you're not going to see what 2,000 people have to say. I went over that in my video, but obviously you were too busy following as many people as you could find that you didn't have time to check out my video on that. But
I'd go as far to say that Richard Smith is more wholesome, which is funny to say based on some of the things he was tweeting.
Wait, then Mills Row?
I don't think Richard Smith would talk about us shitting out babies.
Oh yeah,
more than Mills Row.
Oh man, he
probably talk about making babies, getting babies to be born and then feeding them Nikki Haley's milk before you talk about
there was a great
shitting out babies.
There was a great comment earlier in the chat. I don't remember who it was, but somebody said, "Oh, Nikki Haley's married, and I respect her. I wouldn't even masturbate to her."
No,
the true mark of a gentleman.
Now that's truly respecting women's right there.
That was not Richard though. Richard is never like Richard would probably have the opposite take on it. He would say that
Richard would never say that.
No, Richard would say that like he's honoring her or whatever, but like
oh my fucking god,
using his sock, right? So
he's an official member of Sock Twitter now.
Yeah, that kind of sock Twitter. Like he's got a helicopter emoji in his bio. It's like oh man. Oh my god. Yeah, like the thing is it's like people call me a fascist and stuff because I defend like the West supporting Pinochet against the Soviets. No, this guy's unironically like a fan, I guess, of like Pinochet and stuff. But like okay, I'm gonna bring up the meme. Like this is ridiculous. This was him here the other day. Like that we are not we're not on good terms anymore because he tweets out stuff like this and I'll bring it up so that we can take a look. It's an image comparing our two profiles and just looking for something to delete. I'll delete this one so that I can make room for it. I'm like, do I want to delete the Kyle clip? No, that one comes in handy too often. And by the way, in case you're doubting if it comes in handy too often, we're going to play it right now just to prove the point that this is never getting deleted from my inventory of rare memes. So
I'm gonna pay for it. 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 I'm gonna pay for it.
So that was a meme. That guy's a meme. and then here's another meme. This is Rick. He's got our two profiles there, and he's got over 700. I've got under 700, and he's like, now the caption. I couldn't include the caption on it. The caption says, "I have more followers than Kevin Castley now. I guess I am now the leader of neocon Twitter." And then I respond with, "We had an election. There were over 300 votes cast. There were 4 candidates running. I received the majority of the votes in a field of 4, and then I put in parentheses for those who are brainless 4 candidates. And then Richard wasn't even close. He ain't the leader. He's a meme. And Richard didn't like that too much. So,
And he's also following 2,600 people.
wait, is it 2,600 now? Wait,
It
so
was-
in the time? Oh no, you're right. So in the time that I called him out, between then and now, he's followed almost as many people as I have followers. That's
I love the lack of self-awareness, how he screenshotted both your profiles and he's like, I have more followers. Yet you're also following like you're following like 26 times as many people as Kevin.
27.8 actually. Reed.
27.8. I'm sorry.
27.8. Reed.
Let me bring up my calculator.
Oh man, see, like I'm just scrolling down to like try to find some good tweets from him, like the gold, but like everything's freaking gold. Like everything's on here is gold. Like somebody's like, this account was like, do men have women heroes? And he's like Nikki Haley, because of course. Or like, or like August 18th, he tweeted out, "Good night at Nikki Haley," and that one had one like, and I'm just curious who the liker is. Oh, it's like some random account like that. Okay, whatever. Let's see. Here he is right here. Bill Clinton was one of the greatest presidents ever, and he deserves to be speaking at the DNC. This is from a guy who just said that Joe Biden would
didn't he also support Trump?
No, he's supporting Trump, but he's right now saying that Joe Biden will defend Hamas and Iran and Hezbollah. But Bill Clinton was one of the greatest presidents ever. This guy's kind of weird. What else is there? Oh, this one. I'll give you guys an idea of like the typical memes that this guy does. This is like he tweets this kind of thing out like a various take on this about 6 or 7 times a day. We all know the memes that we're talking about right here. I'm the only true Nikki Haley fan. Like they're all either fake Nikki Haley fans or everybody else is either a Nikki Haley hater. Which, like, by the way, most people don't even think about Nikki Haley one way or another. Let's just be honest about that. Like I'm generally a fan of her foreign policy, but like I don't spend that much time thinking about Nikki Haley. Like I wouldn't. Would I say I'm a fan? Well, I mean, Richard gives a new meaning to fan, so. But
I mean, do you like what she stands for, or do you want to fuck her? Like,
well, I like some of what she stands for. I think she was a great ambassador to the UN. I've got a meme of her like STFU anti-interventionist, and she's got like gold laser eyes. I'll see if I made this meme. Like I made that one. She looks based and pilled right there, cold and bold. And then there's with this one of Reese, right? Oh no, that's Reese and Hillary Clinton is like the same person, and. But we'll take a look. This is what we all know Richard for, is this type of tweet right here.
That's my tweet.
because he tweets this kind of thing out like 6 or 7 times a day for the last few years. Anyway, he says, "I am still the only true." He's not a troll. "I'm still the only true Nikki Haley fan on Twitter. All others on here are Nikki Haley haters." And I like how haters is capitalized. It's like when fast food restaurants will like capitalize like great tasting burgers, and like, great tasting is like that's capitalized. Like, why is tasting and why is capital B burgers in there?
Nikki Haley haters trademark.
Yeah, every time I see a capitalization on like a noun that isn't a proper noun, like great tasting burgers at A&W and great tasting burgers is a proper noun, I'm like, okay, that's Greg, that's skeptic.
If you want your head to explode with regards to this, you should look at the quartering tweets. Every single word in his sentences as tweets is capitalized.
What? Wait, do you mean all
it's
caps,
fucking crazy.
All caps or just the first letter?
It's just the first letter of every single word is fucking capitalized.
That's so much
I
more.
don't know, man.
You have to press.
I don't know if anybody's ever asked him about it, but it's
that's fucking so
cringe,
dude. What? I've never watched this guy.
I mean, the quartering was already cringe, but like looking at his tweets, like every single.
Wait, he's a Nazi, right?
Oh my god. But anyway.
Wait, okay, so continuing on with Richard's diatribe here, he says, and I keep proving that every day! Exclamation mark. But then he starts it with a lowercase here. So like haters is capitalized. Look at this. Haters is capitalized. Nikki Haley haters is capitalized. Exclamation mark. But immediately after that, the sentence that precedes it, which would have been automatically capitalized on his phone, it is I guess he's on the web, so computer. I guess he didn't like. Why not capitalize the and? One, like technically you shouldn't be starting a sentence with and, for and nor, but fanboys, that's the acronym. For and nor, but nor, bet or yet so. Those are the prepositions that you never want to start a sentence with. Fanboys, ironic because he's the biggest fanboy in the world and he can't remember that acronym. So there's that. So I am a bit of a grammar Nazi when it comes to that kind of shit. But hey, look, I start sentences with and.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
Look, I start sentences with and too. I get it, but when I do, y'all know I'm capitalizing that shit anyway. He proceeds. So like, we're only 3 sentences through this. Like, what a goofball. Anyway, so there again with the lowercase beginning the sentence. There are also a lot of people, there are also a lot of people on here who claim to support Nikki. There we go. Oh, he didn't capitalize.
Haley is lowercase.
Lowercase. That was disrespectful. That is an egregious sin right there. That's an egregious sin. Make sure you can be a Nikki Haley fan without publishing short fanfics about smelling her feet or something weird. I mean, if that's your thing, don't let me stop you. But fans come in all colors, and then without a hint of irony,
I was trying to be as nice as possible.
I know, but he doesn't reject the accusation. He just moves on without a hint. He just moves on without a hint of irony, and he continues and says, "But you can't be a Nikki Haley fan while following people who hate Nikki Haley." Well, being okay with them talking trash about Nikki Haley. In other words, that whole thing about like the feet and stuff. No rebuttal, nothing. So then, and I'm reading off of Twitter right now. So then John writes, so if I love eating hot dogs and my friend hates hot dogs, I can't be a fan. No, dude, this is such a meme. Okay, so
you got to show the tweets, dude.
I've got a screen. I know it sucks because I've got a full inventory of memes right now, so I always have to delete one. Like StreamYard. I give you guys $30 a month. You guys You guys need to up the
meme storage,
meme capacity. Like, what is going on? Why 100 images? Like, what is this? 1991? Oh man, I wish it was 1991. Joe Biden would want to bomb Iran. That was based and built. But we've got. Oh yeah, that's right. I got to delete one of these. Okay, so we'll delete this one. Well, I got another one coming through. I'm not getting rid of the rare Boltons. So like my capacity as it is already like probably 80. Because I got a bunch of rare Boltons.
Like crazy. They only allow you to 400 images.
But here it is right here. Like I have Prima, dude. I give these guys $1 a day, but anyway, I like them. They're a platform that even a boomer can use, and we all know I'm a boomer. So here we go. So if I love eating hot dogs, and my friend hates hot dogs, I can't be a fan of hot dogs if I'm friends with them, because this logic is similar to what you're saying. And then again, no rebuttal to the feet thing, nothing, just moves on. No, I am saying that you are not it wasn't true communism, bro. You're not a true Nikki Haley fan.
No true Scotsman.
No true Scotsman. Well, yeah, no true Dutchman. He's a Dutchman, so he's like proud Dutchman. So are not true.
Good point.
Nikki Haley fan. If you are okay with anyone talking trash, we lost Reese. Hopefully he'll be back. With anyone talking trash about Haley. And notice there he only refers to her as Haley. He doesn't say Nikki Haley, which, at least he capitalizes her last name. But, that guy right here, Richard Smith, what a meme. What I mean, that guy,
Man,
is,
I never thought I would return to Twitter, but yeah, the guy just keeps me coming back, man. Like I look at his tweets and I'm like, dude, this is like this guy's gold. This guy
I
is
found
total
the guy.
gold.
No, dude, this is gold. I hope Reese comes back. Reese would get such a kick out of this. Reese would be lolling. Reese would be crying from lolling. I'm gonna. Oh man, I hope Reese is able to make it back into the studio. We have a picture here. I've got to clear up one of these other memes. I will upload this. This is so potent. Going back to the whole dog thing, this is amazing. I'm just scrolling through his profile, and what do I find from August 18th? Bentley is a very cute dog. that's fantasizing, like it's shipping with Nikki Haley. He was shipping the dog with Nikki Haley.
He's really looking for that the first person to make a porno with Nikki Haley and her dog.
He's
looking
dog,
for him, man. You can't deny his desire.
No, but I love how like chill the dog looks and everything, like in the picture and everything. And then there's Richard here, just like, oh yes, me like, and then there's Nikki Haley here who writes, Bentley loves the grass after living in the concrete jungle of New York City. He's getting extra playtime now that the kids are gone. Hashtag empty nesters. Hashtag why is she following me? Well, why is he following me might be inappropriate. No, but okay, this if we just put up this tweet earlier on tonight, you'd be like, okay, whatever, like, yeah, he likes her. No, in the context of everything that our eyes have bared witness to and our ears have borne witness to tonight, this is a big yikes. Like, dude, Richard, if you're watching this, I know like the neolibs are gonna send you these clips and stuff of this show because like they always hate watch. Dude, like, grow up.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh my god.
Maybe Twitter was the wrong community for Richard Smith. Maybe he just wanted to find Tumblr. He just fell into Twitter by mistake.
Oh my god, dude! Oh man.
But then simping for people isn't necessarily particular to Twitter. It's it's all platforms. But
like here he is, August 17th, the day before. I am still the only true Nikki Haley fan. Like, I'll bring it up because you guys are going to think I'm reading off like the same tweet from before. No, it's a different tweet. He has different capitalizations, so you know it's a different tweet because this time, lowercase for haters, and he also capitalizes the first letter of the next sentence, so you know, like, but it's basically the exact same paragraphs as before. That's just different punctuation and stuff. Like this guy, every single day, multiple times, will tweet out how he is a true fan and how everybody else is haters of Nikki Haley. Here he is. We'll bring this up right now. This guy, what a goofball. So, August 17th. I am still like it's the same fucking sentence. He says, "I am still true Nikki Haley fan on Twitter, and all others on here are Nikki Haley haters." And I will compare it to, "I am still the only true." Like this is from the day. No, dude, that's the same sentence. I am still the only true Nikki Haley fan on Twitter. I am still the only true Nikki Haley fan on Twitter. Okay, so exact same so far. All others on here are Nikki Haley haters. Now, in this one, the day more recent, he lowercases the first letter of the next sentence and then capitalizes haters. Day prior, he has it all as one sentence and lowercase for haters, and all others on here are Nikki Haley haters. And he doesn't have an and here. Okay, all others on here are Nikki Haley haters. Like it's the same fucking tweet. I am also tired of people who pretend to like Nikki Haley while they're actually haters. And then we have here, where was it? Back
I think the lesson here is I think Richard Smith just needs to eat hot dogs and try to understand my logic.
Oh man.
He needs
There are
he needs
also
to find a friend who hates hot
trying
dogs.
to support Nikki Haley and block me for defending her. I'm also tired of people who pretend. Dude, who pretends to like Nikki Haley while they are actually haters? Like that's not a thing. Like
Yeah,
that's
you like her or you don't. Like
the people that are actually haters of her are like young Turks that like call her a neocon ghoul and shit. Like this idea that like you know what actually, okay, this is juicy. So I know that a huge source of his bitter rivalry and accusation that other fans of her are haters is because there's another guy on Twitter who lives in the United States who's a big fan of Nikki Haley, but he's not a creep about it. He's just, he's like one of those conservative like Charlie Kirk type guys, and he's met Nikki Haley and he tweets about Nikki Haley a lot and supports Nikki Haley. And Richard is so jealous and calls him a hater. and he hates him, and they've had like this bitter rivalry for a long time because that guy thinks that Richard Smith is a loser and a creep, and Richard Smith thinks that he's a false fan.
Yeah, he's a hater. He's actually a hater.
He's a hater, and he thinks that
but
it's
he's
not
only
fair.
pretending to like Nikki Haley for clout.
Yeah, he thinks that it's not fair that a hater that doesn't even like Nikki Haley would get to meet Nikki Haley at a speaking engagement.
Yo, you met Nikki Haley and talked about issues. You actually just are using her for clout, and you.
Well, no, he thinks he secretly hates Nikki Haley. So he pretends to be a fan of her on Twitter so that he can like subvert the Nikki Haley. Well, there aren't even any Nikki. Like Richard Smith has tweeted out countless times how he's the only true Nikki Haley fan. Like that. Okay, but that's we're talking politicians. Like
Right.
If we're talking like, I don't know, Taylor Swift
Well, I
or
think
something,
that's
and
why
you
I
say,
think-
I want to be, Taylor Swift's only true fan, that kind of makes sense because it's like, there might be 50 million fans out there, but you want to show her that like you're the one true fan. But if we're talking about a politician, don't you want a politician to have a lot of fans? Like if you cared about the issues, wouldn't that isn't that kind of the opposite? Like,
yeah.
Like because if you're her only fan, how is she going to become president? You see what I'm saying? So it's like, what a goofball.
How are their policies going to be promoted?
But this guy doesn't care about policy. Let's just keep it real. Like Nikki Haley could come out tomorrow and endorse Bernie Sanders, and Richard Smith call Trump a Nikki Haley.
Well,
so.
Well, Kevin, I it's like 5:30 where I am right now. 5:30 in the morning, and I gotta go to sleep.
No, I get that. Reese is in the chat. We'll let you get going to bed. I appreciate you coming on. Before we go, I do just want to show this because Reese is in the chat right now. Reese, you missed this. I wish you could have been in the studio for this, but that's him the other day tweeting about Nikki Haley's dog. That's Nikki Haley's dog. And then in the context of everything that we know from the past day, that's a big yikes, and you hate to see it. So, I mean, just what a goofball. So
yeah,
on Twitter, no meme of Twitter, yeah, but he ain't no king. He ain't no king. He's a meme. He's a meme. So we're gonna wrap this up now. So thank you for being here, everybody. Obviously, thanks for coming on. John, as well. Thanks to Reese for being here earlier. And of course, thanks to Jay. And so if you'd like to support what I do, you can check out my Patreon. The link is in the description below. Once we hit $100 a month, I'll have daily videos out, premiering to YouTube and Twitch. So those are pre-recorded videos. And I will also be doing these daily live streams to Twitch and YouTube. Additionally, if you found this video enjoyable, entertaining, whatnot, you can help cancel out the Brainlet Brigades that mass downvoted this stream tonight. You just leave me a big thick like, and be sure to subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so yet. I think we lost like 5 followers or subs in the last couple days because the communists that were hate following me found out that I'm not down with communism. So good riddance, see ya when you want to be ya, they're just a bunch of haters. But as well, be sure to follow me over on Twitch. So that'd be based if we can get up to 50 followers over there. So getting closer each day. Very cool. Thank you to everybody for being here tonight in the audience. This one was a bit of a longer stream. So I'll be back here tomorrow night. Stay tuned, everybody, and have a good night. Peace.